spot, the designated hitter out of Belmont University, number 11, Chase Catafias. And batting ninth and catching out of Siena College, number 25, Willie Schwarik.
The Matsu Miners welcome the Peninsula Oilers to the town for the first time this season. Trey Annity joined alongside Howie Boxley as we get set for another edition of Matsu Miners Baseball. Howie, the Miners are absolutely rolling now 5-0 on the season. Yesterday's game was a little bit unusual.
Yeah, yesterday's game was unusual, Trey. As you see, Blake Avila here with a 2 RBI triple. There were runs and highlights all over the place in this game. The Miners scored 17 times. Josh Pano delivers one down the left field line here. 15 walks in the game. They were hit 4 times. And finally, somebody came in and had some good pitching. That was Andrew Tillery right there with a strikeout. He picks up the save after 3 innings to close it out.
Miners looking to keep this winning streak going. We're going to have keys to the game, lineups, all that great stuff. Coming up for you next, the Miners and the Peninsula Oilers here on YouTube.
In the cleanup spot out of Colleyville, Texas, and Weatherford Community College Coyotes, center fielder number 17, Alex Bricker. Batting fifth out of Southlake, Texas, plays for the Texas State Bobcats, first baseman number
Matsu Miners Baseball is brought to you by the Mugshot Saloon, Big M Benefit, and the Capstone Family Medicine and Eye Clinic. This is Miners Baseball presented on YouTube. Howie Boxley, Trey Yanity with you tonight as we get set for this ABL matchup. The Peninsula Oilers taking on the Miners for the first time this season. Howie, we talked about it in our open. Some crazy baseball over the weekend, but the Miners remain undefeated and will take on a new opponent tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting to get our first look at the Peninsula Oilers. We will have played every single team in the league after we face the Oilers tonight, so it should be an extremely fun game as Michael Yates will get the ball for the Miners. And like you said, Trey, 17 runs yesterday, 15 walks. My, oh my, what a Sunday game against the Chugiak Chinooks.
It was a whole lot of fun, Howie, but you got to turn the page. The Miners now looking to get to 6-0 on the season. What do they need to do to get the win this evening as we take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts?
Yeah, I think, first of all, it's home cooking for these Miners. Their next 8 games, 7 of them will be right here at Herman Brothers Field. They've been great everywhere. Put some home cooking for Matsu and boil the Oilers. It's our first look at Peninsula and the Miners, and Michael Yates will look to take them down and improve to 6-0, a perfect 6-0 on the season.
Very nice, Howie. As we get set for tonight's game, some cotton in the air. You can see it there on screen as the cottonwood trees are doing their thing here in Alaska. It is a beautiful night for baseball. There he is, Michael Yates, out of East Stroudsburg in Pennsylvania, originally from Canadensis, making his second start of the season tonight, his third appearance. Howie, very excited to see what Mr. Yates has in store for us. What do we need to know about this Oilers team as we get started tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for the Oilers, they are a young team. They are 4 hours away. One of the very interesting things about the Peninsula Oilers, we have 5 teams here in the Alaska Baseball League, 4 of them all within 45 minutes. The Oilers, 4 hours away. So it's a long trip. They play a lot of games when they come up, and they will try to take down the Miners for the first time tonight.
This has been a hard ball club to take down. As the Oilers make it up to town, Trey Becker will lead it off tonight as Michael Yates is set to go from the stretch. Our first pitch tonight at 7:06 p.m. It is in there, a ball inside. Like I said, Howie, a beautiful night for baseball. We had some smoke smash over the weekend, carrying in from some wildfires. It is beginning to clear up. As that one, a fastball, is a called strike on the outside corner. But the cotton is now here in full effect.
Yeah, 66 degrees, mostly sunny here from Herman Brothers. Still a touch of haze in the sky, but just a beautiful evening for baseball.
That one swung on, roped out to second. Sinceri backhands it. Easy throw on to first in the Miners. Michael Yates off to a good start here. 1 up and 1 away.
Yeah, a little bit of a different defensive look for the Miners. As you mentioned, Casey Sinceri just fielded that ball and threw out Trey Becker from second base. It's Triolo, Vergara, and Avila left to right in the outfield. Jacob Steele and Josh Pano in their usual spots on the left side of the infield. Cade Manning gets the start at first base as Nick Sorelli will be the designated hitter for the first time. Lancia and Yates the battery.
As first lefty of the game, Shunsikino, the second baseman, steps in for his first at bat of the night. The Miners tonight, for the third game in a row here at home, they're wearing the camo uniforms. Green caps, yellow bill, green high socks, as that one's going to miss away. It'll be 1-1 on Sakino.
Yeah, Shun Sakino. Grew up in San Diego, California, but originally from Chiba, Japan.
He's going to look at the 1-1. It misses away. The visiting Oilers donning black tops tonight. On the road, but they're wearing white pants, black socks, and red helmets. Sakino squares around to bunt. He's going to pull it back and takes a strike. As that'll even it up now 2-2. Working quickly is Yates. He is going to miss away. As that was the 3-2 pitch. It is a walk. And after a quick out, a base on balls here for Yates. It'll be a runner on first base, 1 away for the 3-hole hitter, Dalton Bowling.
Yeah, it's only the second walk issued by Yates in the young season as he makes his third appearance here. Fastball sits 89-91. Sliders, the primary off-pitch, changeup, and a spiked curveball, the arsenal for Yates.
Righty-lefty, and now a righty steps in Bowling, the first baseman. The first pitch, a curveball in the dirt, blocked up nicely that time by Steven Lancia. Back behind the plate tonight is Lancia, as you said. bit of a different lineup. Not just defensively, but on the offensive side as well. We'll take you through that in the bottom of the first. But tonight, real opportunity for some guys to get playing time. There's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Went back to the off speed there. Evens it up.
Yeah, we see Trey Triolo and Cade Manning getting their first look in starting roles for the Miners. Tyler LeBron, he's not going to be afraid to play anybody and everybody, as it's summer baseball and it's about opportunities.
Pickoff attempt over to first. The new first baseman tonight, Cade Manning. Fields it. The runner is back in time. Who do you think has the biggest opportunity in front of them tonight?
I'm really excited to see what Cade Manning has.
As the 1-1 is inside. Almost hit him.
As his stature is similar to that of Nick Sorelli, stands over there at first base. He's got pop in the bat. And it's just really exciting to see how the guys that got in a little bit later, playing in regional games, how they're going to gel with the rest of the team that's playing very well.
Another pickoff attempt, a good one, but the runner is back.
Dalton Bowling, the batter right now. San Jose State University for Bowling, where he hit .302 this year.
The pride of Fremont, California. Runner goes. This one is lined down the left field line. It is a foul ball. It'll make it 2-2.
11 doubles, 9 home runs for Dalton Bowling, so no surprise that he is the 3-hole hitter for the Peninsula Oilers, who come in 1-2 on the year. This is their 4th game. A little bit of a later start for Peninsula, as they are 4 hours away in Kenai.
Yeah, they got to make the trip. The Miners will do it at the end of the month down there to Kenai, but for the Oilers, long travels for now. A 2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Yates pulls the string on him. His first strikeout of the night. And now 2 away with a runner on first base for the cleanup hitter, James Shimashita.
The Miners absolutely dominated the Oilers last year en route to a 30-13 record overall. They matched up with Peninsula 10 times, beat them 9 of them. Only lost 1 time against these Oilers. Went 5-0 right here at Herman Brothers Field.
Certainly had their number in the past as a pickoff attempt. Runner is back.
So interesting to watch all of the cotton float around, as it is really out full force. We mentioned it a couple of times over the last few games, but it has been nothing like it is right now.
As a 4th pickoff attempt, runner is safe.
As it's flying all in the booth, all over the place, really. You can definitely see it on the camera. It almost looks like it's snowing even.
The first pitch to Shimashita. In the dirt.
And despite what you hear about Alaska, no way it could be snowing right now. We're mid-60s, and it is a gorgeous evening for baseball.
It is a beautiful night for baseball. We've had 2 rainouts so far this season here at Herman Brothers Field.
Dark out as well.
Yeah.
Mercy rule yesterday.
As that fastball is going to miss away. It'll be 2-0.
Sakino was 4 for 4 in stolen bases at CSUN, Cal State University Northridge. So Yates paying attention to him over there.
He's picked off a few times now, but this time he will deliver to the plate. That one misses away. Now 3-0 the count on the right fielder. And hopefully we don't have a cotton out tonight, Howie. It's getting dense as the summer picks up. The 3-0, a called strike. Works back now.
Yeah, just very strange, as all the locals mentioned that this would happen, but until you see it, you don't really understand what they mean from the lower 48. At least I've never seen anything like it.
We're outsiders. The 3-1. Runner fakes a steal. It's hit right back up the middle. Yates gloves it, throws on to first. An easy inning. A base runner allowed, but nothing more. It is 0-0. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Don't go anywhere. This is Matsu Miners Baseball, presented to you on YouTube. The Matsu Miners are set to come to bat for the first time in this ball game. Howie, let's take a look at their starting lineup.
Let's do it, Trey, as you get a look at the Miners starting 9. New face at the top, Blake Avila now slotted in the 1 hole. He'll play right field. Casey Sunseri down to 2. Nick Sorelli in his usual spot at 3. Vergara in the cleanup role once again. Cade Manning gets his first start at first base. He'll bat 5th. Lancia does the catching, bat 6th. It's Trey Triolo, Josh Pano, and Jacob Steele to round out the starting 9 for the Matsu Miners.
Well done there, Howie. An unusual lineup tonight. Maybe not unusual. We'll call it different this evening as we will see Blake Avila lead off for the first time in this game. Casey Sunseri slots down a bit. No Carter Young. Vergara back to that cleanup role. Sorelli the DH tonight. All kinds of things going on as the Miners will get set to take on Max Miller and the Peninsula Oilers. Blake Avila, since he's joined the team, one of those newer guys as well. He's had quite the pop in his bat. Already a home run. Drove in several more yesterday. Had a triple in that game. He will try to get it started tonight.
Yeah, 4 RBIs in yesterday's game. 7 now for the season. 4 for his first 9. Excellent start for Blake Avila.
It'll be righty on lefty to start. Max Miller from the windup. First pitch is a fastball that misses high.
Max Miller, a freshman, attends Baylor. Few games for Max this season. Originally from Carlsbad, California.
The 1-0 is inside, almost hit him. Avila ducks out of the way. I know that's one of your favorite city names, maybe in the country, Howie. I'm right there with you, Carlsbad.
It's just a fun name to say, right? Carlsbad, California.
What did he do? The 2-0 from Miller in the dirt. That'll make it 3-0. Skips up. Is there a Carl is good? California?
Yeah, right. Carl's good, California.
Maybe that's on the East Coast. The 3-0. Misses high and a 4-pitch walk to get us started tonight. Miller struggling with location. Is the Miners not the team to do that against? They draw quite a few walks.
Yeah, you're telling me 15 of them yesterday, and they were hit 4 times. And off to an early base on ball start here. We all know about Nick Sorelli and his walking prowess.
This past week, the Miners really been jumping on teams early. They were up 4-0 in yesterday's game as Casey Sunseri, the 2-hole hitter tonight, steps in and is going to take a ball to start.
Yeah, you've coined them as the comeback kids, but no comeback necessary yesterday in a 17-5 rout of the Chugiak Chinooks.
Miller from the stretch now. Fastball misses again. 6 balls to get us started tonight. He's going to get a visit from the catcher, Willie Schwarwick, as we take a look at the Oilers' defense tonight. Max Miller on the mound, Schwarwick behind the plate. Dalton Bolin over at first base. Sean Sakina at second. Trey Becker will man the 6. Graydon West over at third base. Jake Brown in left field. Casey Burnham over in center. And James Shimashita will round it out in right field.
It's an interesting swap at the top of the order for the Miners. As you and I were mulling over breakfast, the different lineup combinations for Tyler LeBrun, who can really do whatever he wants at this point.
Here's the DH, number 37.
Yeah, Miller really laboring here as you see him sort of paw off the back of the mound and kick some dirt around, trying to figure out what he needs to do to throw a strike.
Oh, difficult hitter to do so against. Nick Sorelli, the designated hitter tonight. On pace to do something nobody has done before. We'll talk about that in a minute. He squares around a bunt on the first pitch. Third baseman charges. He will head back as Sorelli pulls the bat back and takes a ball. 1-0.
Yeah, Sorelli just showing you how unselfish he is right there. We've seen him show bunt a few times this year. 14 walks, which is on pace for well over 100, which is obviously unsustainable. But, folks, he could end up with 50 or 60 base on balls for real.
Squares around again here as that one is a called strike. Much needed for Max Miller. His first of the game. after throwing 9 consecutive balls to open us up.
Yeah, Ryan Gill with a generous lower half there.
1-1 the count. It's runners on first and second. Still nobody away here in the bottom of the first. Miller looks back the runner. Now delivers. That one misses high and inside. It'll be 2-1 on the lefty. 37 was the number last year for Nick Sorelli in the walk category. That led the Alaska Baseball League.
Led it by 11 as well. Right now he's already almost up to half of that. We've only played 6 games.
As the 2-1, a curveball will be called a strike. That one bends in over the outside corner. Now 2-2.
Yeah, pretty pitch that time by Max Miller.
The stirrups being sported tonight by the natural first baseman. Now the 2-2. He's going to miss a bit low. Now 3-2, another curveball there. Dangerous pitch. But Sorelli with the best eye on the team. No stress, as he will run it full.
Maybe the best eye in collegiate summer baseball for Nick Sorelli. Just never seems to swing at anything out of the zone.
Now the 3-2 is going to miss high. Howie. This has to end at some point, right? I mean, we're talking Hall of Fame walk numbers. Another one for Nick Sorelli, and 3 to start the game tonight. It will load the bases for the cleanup hitter, Alex Vergara. Still nobody out.
Yeah, it sounds like that Sorelli told the top of the order, Sinceri and Avila, hey, this isn't too hard if everybody just walks. I mean, we're going to score a lot of runs, right? As Max Miller is really having trouble with command here, and we'll get a visit from Anthony Mizrahi, the Oilers pitching coach.
Yeah, difficult start to this game. For the starter, Miller, 2 4-pitch walks to open it up. He loses Sorelli, and as we kind of get through this lineup,
And
Vergara,
folks, just to put on your calendar, we got home games tomorrow,
Cade Manning,
Saturday, Sunday, Monday,
Steven
Tuesday,
Lancia, some dangerous
6 games
hitters
the next
coming up
8
here.
days after tonight.
The Miners did take a 4-0 lead yesterday, but they did surrender
Also, it's a ways down
that
the
lead,
road,
not
but
all the
don't
way.
forget about the
Became a
second
1-run
week.
game.
The second
In the
week of
third
July
at
and
5-4,
pancake breakfast, Saturday, July
they would run away
16th
with it 17-5. But
at the Elks Lodge.
my point, Howie, I would love to see the group get up early and stay up.
Yes.
Let's see if they can do it here.
Scored in every inning
Now batting
yesterday in
goes
a
center fielder number
shortened
17,
game. It was called
Alex
after 7 innings. The run rule is 10, as that was just implemented this year for some teams that are short on pitching. So if you're ahead by 10 or more after 7, the game would be called. Miners were ahead by 12, of course. 17-5 final.
The first pitch to Vergara is going to miss inside. No bases to give here, as it'll be 1-0. Howie, I see you shaking your head. This is a rerun of yesterday's game to this point.
Yeah, it certainly is, as Max Miller cannot throw one over the Pentagon.
His 1-0. Curveball. Nice bend on it, but it misses low now. 2-0.
Yeah, some really good movement on the curveball for the freshman Miller. Attends a Power 5 school in Baylor University, and this is an excellent opportunity for Miller. Didn't pitch very much at Baylor. Get an opportunity to throw a lot in the summer and hopefully sharpen his command.
The 2-0 now is way past the catcher Schwarwick. A run is going to come in. Blake Avila crosses the plate, as that one's going to be ruled a wild pitch, and it's 1-0 Miners.
Yeah, very wild pitch by Max Miller, and the Miners are taking advantage of these command troubles early on.
We saw some runs brought in on wild pitches in yesterday's game. Some pass balls, if you want to qualify it that as well. The Miners taking advantage here early again. They will now have runners on second and third as Sinceri and Sorelli advance, and it's a 3-0 count for Vergara. From the stretch, the pitch. That's a called strike. It'll be a hitter's count.
It's tough to say this early in the season, Trey, but as we get our first look at the Oilers, of course, the command issues of Max Miller not helping it, but the Miners just look head and shoulders above the rest of the league at the moment.
Oh, they certainly do. The 3-1. Fastball down the middle. It'll be strike 2 now on Vergara.
Wind blowing out to center, where the American and Alaskan flag flap right to the right of the 390 sign in center field.
Nice to have our distances back in the outfield. The 3-2. Swung on and chopped out to third. Fielded on a short hop by West. His throw across the infield in time. It'll be the first out of the inning. The runners have to hold put. 5-3 it's scored. And now one away for Cade Manning.
Now batting, your first baseman, number 29, Cade Manning.
Cade Manning got his first look in a Miners uniform yesterday. Came on in the 5th inning to pinch hit in a 7-inning game. And he ended up batting 3 times. That's par for the course for yesterday's game. Got 2 at-bats in that 5th inning. Single, walk, struck out swinging, and a run scored for Cade.
The first pitch to the lefty is going to be a called strike, that one, at the knees. Manning late to the party as well. Out of Texas State.
Was having some fun with Texas State in postseason play.
The 0-1. Swung on, popped in foul territory. Will it stay in play? Long run for West towards the wall. It'll drop in there and be a foul ball. Now 0-2 the count.
Not very many games for Manning this year. 9 of them to be exact. A sophomore from Southlake, Texas, where he went to Southlake Carroll High School. Spent time in the Texas Collegiate League last year.
As the 0-2. Swung on and driven down the right field line. Will it stay fair? It will not. A foul ball.
Played with the Victoria Generals in the Texas Collegiate League, where he batted .278 over 36 at-bats and 12 games.
The first baseman tonight, he has 2 runners in scoring position, still just 1 out. He faces another 0-2. That one's going to miss high. Another fastball there. Interestingly enough here, Howie, the starter Miller hasn't struggled with his control on the curveball as much. It's been the fastball that has been getting the best of him in this first inning.
Yeah, the curveball has some nice break to it, but the fastball is all over the place.
Now the 1-2. Swung on, hit out to second. It's going to be Sakino with it on to first. That'll be an out, but a run will come in as Cade Manning picks up another RBI in this young season and doubles the Miners' lead here in the first, now 2-0.
First RBI of the year for Cade Manning.
Now batting,
And he'll take it. He gets the job done. Sometimes that's all you have to do is put the ball in play. That's what he did.
They just needed a sac fly or ground ball to the right side. They get the latter, and they lead it 2-0. As we get the chance to see Steven Lancia for the first time tonight. He now has a runner on third base and 2 outs. Miller trying to get out of it here in the first. Curveball misses away. Not now, Siri. A 1-0 on the way. Fastball misses high, now 2-0.
Lancia had a day of rest yesterday and rides a 5-game hit streak into action, second only to Casey Sunseri, who has a 6-gamer working.
This being Game 7, Sunseri is good as it gets to this point in the streak category. The 2-0. That's another fastball that misses high. 3-0 the count.
See some stretching down the left field line, some leg pulls down there, as Max Miller is having all kinds of trouble locating early.
Another long inning of rest for Michael Yates. The 3-0 is going to miss high, a 4-pitch walk, the third of the inning for Max Miller. As that'll put runners on the corners now for the Miners. Already up 2-0 in this one, early here in the first. They have walked 4 times in the inning. Yet to register a hit.
Your left fielder, number 18.
But 2 runs on the board.
Triolo.
Trey Triolo, first start for him. Got an AB late in the game yesterday as well as LeBron emptied the bench. University of the Incarnate Word for Trey Triolo.
Another lefty inserted into this lineup, and this one is going to get away from Schwarwick, but the runner Sorelli decides to hold up at third. That will allow Steven Lancia to advance to second base. 2 more in scoring position here with 2 outs. It will be a 1-0 count for Cade Manning. But you just love this lefty power, Howie, that has now come out of nowhere for the Miners.
Yeah, you certainly do, as Trey Triolo and Cade Manning. The only two lefties that were here before them were, of course, Nick Sorelli and Carter Young. So 2 more lefties inserted and a more balanced look for Matsu and Coach Tyler LeBrun.
Now the 1-0 from Miller. Swung on, popped up left side. It will be a foul ball. This one has a chance to stay in, but it drifts to the seats. An early souvenir and a 1-1 count.
First time that Trey Triolo has traveled far away from home for summer baseball. He's originally from in and around the Austin area. Played some summer ball there, but he's a long way from Austin up here in Alaska. And he loved the scenery coming in, taking a ton of pictures out the window.
The 1-1 misses away. Now it's going to be a strike. Just hits that outside corner. That'll send him down 1-2. How could you not, Howie? It is one of the most scenic flights you can take.
Yeah, Pioneer Peak over the left field wall here at Herman Brothers. Still a little bit of haze.
As a nice bender there is going to be called strike 3. Trey Triolo goes down as the third out here in the first, but the Miners get 2 runs and take the advantage early on over the Peninsula Oilers. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Matsu Miners Baseball, presented to you on YouTube. You know, Howie, speeding on the road doesn't save much time. Traveling at 55 miles per hour versus 45 miles per hour for a 10-mile trip only saves you about 2.5 minutes of travel time. The reward is not worth the cost. Stop speeding before it stops you. This message is brought to you by the Alaska Highway Safety Office. Michael Yates getting set for his second inning of work tonight as the Miners have a 2-0 advantage early on here over the Peninsula Oilers. Yates a dominant first inning. The bat's not necessarily going in the first for the Miners, but the walks pouring in yet again tonight. They accrued 4 of them, 2 runs with some small ball as they try to keep it up here heading into the second now. As it'll be Casey Burnham, the lefty hitter, to start us off. The center fielder tonight takes a ball. Swings to the second pitch, hits it out to second. A weird hop for Sinceri. He loses it, and it's going to be a base runner with nobody out. Funky hop there, Howie.
Yeah, difficult hop for Sinceri, who just got charged with the Miners' 5th error of the season. They have played excellent defense thus far. They've turned more double plays than they've committed errors. They've turned 7 tricks now. And now, as I mentioned, just 5 errors. So a rare miscue by the Miners' defense.
And Sinceri, not your everyday second baseman. He's going to need some time to adjust back, as Jake Brown will try to get it going here for the Oilers. In the second, he takes a called strike. Yates does so many things well, but really leans on that fastball to get a bat started. likes to get up in counts. As they typically do, the 1-0, 0-1, is fouled down the line. That'll make it 0-2 now on the Reddy Brown.
Casey Burnham, a threat to steal over at first base. He's logged some years at the University of Kansas, and through 4 of them, he's swiped 25 bags on 35 attempts.
He's giving him a look over there. He's going to commit to the plate, and he's going to miss. A fastball up. 1-2 the count.
As you mentioned, Michael Yates really relies heavily on that fastball, and he's had a good one tonight. Probably looks sharper than we've seen him at any point this year.
As he's going to get a swing and a miss and another strikeout early in this game. His second already. Curveball that time. Pulls the string on Jake Brown, and now 1 away for the third baseman, Graydon West.
Yeah, when the fastball's working, you can go to the off speed, and it's just so much more effective, as that breaking pitch just dove away from the bat of Jake Brown. And when the fastball's located, you can throw the slider, you can throw the curveball, and an occasional change, and you'll have a lot of success against any lineup.
Pickoff attempt this time is not a bad one, but the runner is back. Michael's family, excellent supporters of the Miners and our broadcasts. Hope you're with us tonight. And anyone out there watching us, we appreciate your support. Let us know where you're watching from in the comments. The first pitch is swung on, fouled off by West. It'll be 0-1.
Graydon West, Rice University. Just 6 games this year in his first season. Originally from Cade, Texas. 6'3", 185-pound right-handed batter.
He gets set to face the 0-1. He's going to have to wait a minute as Yates picks over to first again. The runner Burnham back.
Yates with a lot of pickoffs already early on in this one. And they've been good moves and throws right on the money to Cade Manning.
The 0-1 now is a curveball. It's going to be a called strike. That'll make it 0-2. Beautiful bender that time from Yates.
Yeah, he's got the curveball working. He's got the slider working, which he struck out Jake Brown on. He can really just go to anything right now.
Takes a look at Burnham once again. Now set to deliver. The 0-2. Swung on, softly hit to the left side. Pano struggles with it. And that is going to be the second error of this game. Everybody's safe. A rare occurrence here. There might be a blue moon out. Not quite sure, Howie, but it's going to be runners on first and second with 1 away.
Yeah, we are not used to seeing this from the Miners, who are typically excellent on the defensive side, and it's not to take anything away from what they've done thus far this year. It's just abnormal, as they committed no errors again yesterday for the 3rd time this year. The Chinooks had 5 of them in the afternoon game.
Let's see if they can clean it up here. As the first pitch is swung on and fouled high out of play. Chase Cataphias, the designated hitter tonight, will step in, and he will now have to face an 0-1 count. Just 1 out here in the top of the 2nd inning. Wind picks up a bit. Yates delivers this one in the dirt. It'll be 1-1. Sinceri shaded a bit to his right. Plays about 10 feet away from the second base bag. Loosely holding the runner on. Curveball. And there from Michael Yates is going to miss away. It'll be 2-1 now.
Yeah, big hole on the right side of the infield that Cataphias might try to fill.
Now the 2-1. Swung on, hitting the air to center field. Left center, we'll call it, as you see Alex Vergara emerge in with Trey Triolo. The catch is made, and a nice throw back to second. But the runner is back there. It'll be 2 outs now. Vergara making his first start in center field tonight. Trey Triolo, as you said, Howie, over and left, making his first start of the season. That ball, a test of their communication skills, their camaraderie to this point, but the catch is made. The runners are back, and now 2 away. For the 9-hole hitter, Willie Schwarwick.
Yeah, not too sure what Burnham was doing there, as that ball was pretty lazy out to left center and clearly playable, but Burnham almost got caught too far off the second base bag and was almost thrown out with a good throw from Alex.
The first pitch is swung on and lined into left center field. The runner is going to be waved around third. Burnham, the speedy outfielder, is in to score. He will cut the lead in half. An RBI single for Willie Schwarwick has made this game 2-1 here in the second.
Yeah, that's a shame for Michael Yates, as that will be an unearned run. 2 errors in the inning are going to cost the Miners at least one.
Shortstop for Tim, Troy Becker.
Have to feel for Yates here, making just his second start of the season. Trying to get the confidence rolling. Let's see if he can get out of here with just a run. Runners on first and second again. 2 outs, top of the lineup. It's Trey Becker, who's going to take a ball in the dirt. Blocked up nicely there by Steven Lancia.
Surprising to see the Miners in their camouflage uniforms for the 3rd straight home game, as this is almost becoming their routine home uniform at this point.
Got to support the troops. The 1-0, swing and a miss. Got him with the fastball there.
Yeah, we hope everyone will join us tomorrow night for Military Appreciation Day, when the Miners will take on the Chinooks right here at Herman Brothers Field. If you're in the area, come on out. If not, right back here on YouTube, 7 o'clock Alaska time.
And now 1-1 count to Becker. That one's in the dirt, 2-1. I wonder if we'll see him for the 4th night in a row. It only makes sense. Tomorrow night.
Yeah, or maybe our first look at the red, white, and blue uniforms. Those things are sharp, hanging up in the lockers, ready for the 4th of July game in Kenai against these Oilers.
The 2-1 now is a fastball that misses away. 3-1, a hitter's count for Becker. He grounded out in the first.
That'll be interesting. Down to play the Oilers in Kenai, as the 4th of July game, one that everybody looks forward to in summer collegiate baseball, will be away from home, but it should be a lot of fun. And we'll see if we can get a fireworks show going, depending on the conditions.
That 3-1 is swung on, hit out of play. It'll run it full here on the shortstop.
Of course, you have to be mindful, as we talked about at length in the game yesterday, the haze coming in from the fires in southwest Alaska. And, of course, conditions will be monitored. And if it's safe to shoot fireworks, we'd love to see them on the 4th of July.
We'd love to have them. We will televise that fireworks show as well, if it is permitted. But we'll have to wait and see. The 3-2 swung on, softly hit out to third. Steele charges it, throws on the run, in time. And the Miners get out of a jam here in the second. They allow a run, but lead it 2-1. We head to the bottom half. This is Mat-Su Miners Baseball, presented to you by Alaska Airlines, and you are watching it on YouTube. Don't go anywhere.
Shortstop, 2 outs. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. 12, Josh. How you know?
We are back here in the bottom of the second inning. The Mat-Su Miners lead the Peninsula Oilers 2-1 your score. As Josh Pano steps in to lead it off. Pano, a monster day in last night's ball game. Picked up 4 hits as the first pitch is a fastball that misses high.
Yeah, yesterday was one of those inflate your numbers days. See how many times you can get up to the plate, get aboard, how many hits you can get, and Pano's numbers are looking pretty good. 8 for 22, 364 average.
As the 1-0 is skipped in the dirt. It'll be 2-0. Truly a stat padding day yesterday.
Yeah, these Miners teed off on everybody in sight, including Patty McCormick, the shortstop.
The 2-0 almost hits the shortstop. It'll miss and make it 3-0.
Max Miller has had all kinds of problems commanding the zone early on in this one. 4 walks in the first inning and in deep danger of issuing a 5th here.
Yeah, really struggled to start. We saw 3 consecutive walks to begin the bottom of the first. Now the 3-0 is going to miss again. And a similar story here in the second. A walk to lead it off for Josh Pano. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Jacob Steele.
Now batting, your third baseman, number 11, Jacob
And 2 4-pitch walks,
Steele.
Howie, to start the game. We saw another 4-pitch walk later in the inning.
Yeah, and one right there to Josh Pano. So up steps Jacob Steele. He also had a good game yesterday. 2 for 4, 3 runs, 3 knocked in. And Steele hasn't struck out yet this year. One of the only Miners that can say that.
He squares around a bunt. He's going to pull it back. A curveball drops in there. Called strike 1. Not an easy feat to remain without a strikeout. From the stretch, the 0-1 is going to miss inside. It'll be 1-1. Another curveball there. Appreciate the comments as they pour in tonight. The Lancia family, as the runner goes for second. Fastball is high, throw down to second base. A good one, and it is in time. To can Josh Pano, the first out of the inning. And one of the first caught stealings we've seen all season, Howie.
Yeah, that was a pretty good jump by Pano, but an even better throw by Willie Schwarrick, the catcher, who just gunned down Pano for out number 1.
Well, Jacob Steele up 2-1 now after the high fastball. That one will be a called strike, although, and it will even it at 2-2. This pitch, a curveball, swung on, hit in the air to left field. Drifting back is going to be Jake Brown. He makes the catch with ease, the second out of the inning. A fly out for Jacob Steele, and now back to the top. Blake Avila, one of the walk recipients in the first inning.
Yeah, that caught stealing could be just what Max Miller needs to get back on the beam here. Sometimes it just takes something little like that, like your catcher Schwarrick picking you up, gunning somebody down, just to calm you down, settle in.
The lefty steps in now, trying to keep his red hot start to this season going. Swings at the first pitch, and he'll do just that. A base hit into right field. Blake Avila will get it going here with 2 outs as the Miners try to add on to this 1-run lead.
Now batting, your second baseman, number 14, Casey Cincinnati.
You heard it there from PA announcer Wolfgang Winter, back in town tonight, taking over for our good friend Mikey. As the first pitch to Casey Cincinnati, another curveball, another miss. Got to thank everybody that works so hard here at Herman Brothers Field. The front office, that PA department, concessions all the way around, leaving out many that make this happen. This pitch is swung on, softly hit to the right side. Over on it is Sirico, his throw to first in time. That's out number 3, the Miners. Strand a runner. They lead it 2-1 as we head to the third inning. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Mat-Su Miners Baseball, presented to you by Alaska Airlines. now for the top of the third inning. The Miners lead it 2-1. As the Oilers will come to bat here again in the third. The final out recorded to Shun Sakaino. He will step in to lead it off for the Oilers. Michael Yates continues for the Miners. As his first pitch, a called strike. Yates really enjoys working out of the stretch.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job. Picture perfect fastball so far for Michael.
As the 1-0 is going to miss away. Now 2-0 the count. It's going to be 1-1 rather. As that one missed. And that 1-1 is going to be a called strike. Michael heard me. He said, hold up. Well, wait a minute. I'll get you that second strike. Does so there. Now 1-2. Working quick. Now this pitch is softly rolled out to first. Cade Manning flips onto the pitcher, Yates, who does a nice job of getting over there to cover. Steps on the bag. It's out number 1. As Howie, early on in this season, the Miners have been dominating. Don't know how long it's going to stay up, but at this point, let's take a look at the ABL standings. Quite the start here.
Yeah, early on for the Miners, they are tearing through the league, 5-0 undefeated, and have already garnered a comfortable 3-game lead on the Bucks and the Pilots.
It is Dalton Bowling. That one misses away. Time is going to be called here. It has really been a hot start, and Jenny Young making a good point in the comments as the 0-1 is swung on, hitting the air to center field. It's a long run for Alex Vergara as Blake Avila, the right fielder, is going to call him off and make the catch near the track. It is out number 2, and Yates, stellar start, continues here. 2 up, 2 down. But Jenny Young in the comments talking about how Mat-Su Miners Military Appreciation Day also falls on Flag Day. Very nice point there. Hopefully, we do get to see these American flag uniforms tomorrow.
Yeah, that should be a ton of fun tomorrow as the Miners start a 3-game homestand.
As the first pitch is swung on and hit foul down the right field line. It's James Shimashita, the right fielder, who goes down 0-1.
Of course, playing the Oilers tonight, Chinooks tomorrow for Military Appreciation Night, Napa Day on Thursday following an off day. That will be against the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Then we'll head to Chugiak on Friday and start another homestand, a 4-gamer. So lots of fun from Herman Brothers Field. If you're in the area, come down and watch a game.
Shimashita swings at the second pitch as well, hit out to short. Pano throws on the run again. Taylor made. He's going to patent that one day, Howie, and out. And the third of the inning. The Miners lead it 2-1. We go to the bottom of the third. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Mat-Su Miners Baseball, presented to you by Alaska Airlines. We've played 2.5 here. This is Miners Baseball presented to you on YouTube. Nick Sorelli, the designated hitter, set to step in to lead off the bottom of the third. The Miners lead it 2-1. One hit apiece to this point, 2 errors. Uncharacteristic for the Miners, but they will try to get it going with the bats here in the third. And a qualified, maybe the most qualified hitter on the team, set to get us started. Max Miller remains in the game for Peninsula and delivers a strike to the lefty Sorelli.
Yeah, this is one of those starts for Max Miller where you really got to try to gut it out, eat some innings for your club. He doesn't have his good stuff. He's not locating, but if you can get through 3, 4, 5 innings, that's all you need to do for Larry McCann and your team.
Well, it looked really bad there in the first inning. Thought it might get out of hand. The 0-1 is going to miss inside. But that's what makes great pitchers, Howie. And this is the time to do it, to gain that confidence, to gain that fight, as he allowed 3 walks to start. The 1-1. In the dirt, 2-1. Allowed 4 in the inning, but did not allow a hit. Bounced back, kept it to 2 runs. Comes out here again in the third. Now the 2-1. Curveball is going to miss away. That one looked like it was going to end up about 3 feet outside of the zone somehow. Almost bounces back for a strike.
Yeah, this is just one of those games where it feels like the Miners are dominating, and they are in the scorebook, but not on the scoreboard.
The 3-1. Swung on, driven in the air to center field. Back goes Burnham. About a step in front of the track, he's going to make the catch for out number 1.
It's really hammered that ball, but deepest part of the ballpark.
Your center fielder, number 17, Alex Vergara.
Love our vantage point there in Chugiak, but it's a good feeling to be back at home here, Howie. Can see these fly balls a little bit better from our perspective.
Yeah, worse look at the strike zone, but certainly much better depth perception on the fly balls.
As the first pitch to Alex Vergara is a called strike. Vergara grounded out in the first inning. Back in this cleanup role tonight, as he was on opening day. From the windup, here's Miller. Curveball, thought about it. Did he go? He did. Check swing there registers now 0-2 on the center fielder tonight. From the windup, the 0-2. Curveball, swing and a miss, and a strikeout of Alex Vergara, the second out of the inning. The first strikeout of the third, the second of the ball game for Max Miller.
Yeah, that was a filthy curveball, and frankly, Max Miller probably has the best curveball we've seen all year. He's just had trouble locating his fastball. And we'll see if that comes with time for Miller, who's young and attends a Power 5 school.
From the windup, a called strike, a fastball there. On the outside corner to Cade Manning. He drove in a run with a ground out in the first. And now the 0-1. Curveball that time misses 1-1. Howie, do you think there's a difference between Power 5 players and the guys that come from the mid-majors or the D2 schools, the JUCOs?
I think that on paper, there probably is.
As that 1-1, a beautiful curveball, is strike 2.
But at the end of the day, there's a lot of players from a lot of so-called smaller schools or even worse schools, to put it harshly,
As the 1-2 just got a piece of it to stay alive.
that are excellent baseball players. They play the game hard, and maybe they just have to work a little bit harder. They don't have the build necessarily that the Power 5 schools want. They don't have the velocity on the fastball. But a lot of those guys play the game with passion, the right way, and they're good ball players.
As the 1-2 is going to miss away now, 2-2. Now you're exactly right. I think at times you see certain skills, natural given abilities that maybe do surpass once you get to a certain level, but so often we see a player's size determine where he ends up. Once you get to summer ball, well, it's an even playing field. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in the inning by Max Miller. He bounces back, keeps his team down a run. We head to the 4th inning. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Mat-Su Miners Baseball, presented to you on YouTube. Back now for the 4th inning. This is Mat-Su Miners Baseball, presented to you on YouTube. And as we do each and every Mat-Su Miners game, I toss it over to Howie for innings 4 through 6. Howie, take it away.
Thanks so much, Trey. Excellent job in the first 3 and a 2-1 lead for the Miners. In a well-played baseball game to this point, Michael Yates back to work against the heart of the Oilers order and Casey Burnham, the center fielder. First pitch. Outside for ball 1. Burnham reached on one of 2 errors by the Miners last inning. Hit a ground ball to Casey Sunseri that was booted and eventually came home to score the only Oilers run to this point. 1-0. Outside corner and a called strike. Excellent fastball thus far from Michael Yates. A lot of life, and he's hitting corners with it.
You just love the location so far for Yates.
1-1 pitch. Misses low. 2 balls and a strike now.
You know, for a guy that has really had poor luck out there to this point, already 2 errors tonight, keeps his head in it.
2-1. Chopped foul. Yeah, for Michael Yates, his personality exudes someone who would keep his head in it. He just wants to win, and he knows that he's going to do everything in his control to contribute. Of course, everybody has that attitude. But, you know, a couple errors by his defense, he'll shake it off, and he'll get back on the beam and try to deliver once more. 2-2 pitch. Chopped up the middle. Sunseri to his right. Is going to give way to Peno, who charges to his left. Play is close at first and called out over there by Brad Polk. Nifty play up the middle by Josh Peno.
What makes this defense so great? Well, I guess a lot of things, but one thing that I notice every time, the communication. There's never any confusion. There's always a decisive, immediate decision. I think that allows them to make a lot of these plays.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and that goes back to the very first practice, and there wasn't very many of them before games started rolling in, 2 or 3 at most. And I remember Tyler LeBrun coming over, talking to the catchers as Jake Brown steps in. Yates brings the first pitch to him, which is cut on and missed. And he said, hey, guys, we're going to communicate as if it were a game. So every ball in front of the plate where there was any potential for communication to be had, the catchers were yelling it. And they've taken that into the games as Yates delivers a breaking pitch that stays high. Even on the most routine plays like that one right there, if Sunseri and Peno have a miscommunication, they could slam into each other, and Burnham could reach. 1-1. Lifted out of play to the right side.
Not sure at what point Billy Yates joined the broadcast, but Mr. Yates, welcome in. Good to have you tonight. Your son Michael is dominating to this point. Look great.
Yeah, 1 unearned run, the only blemish on the line of Michael Yates to this point. 1-2 pitch. Brown lucky to get a piece of that.
Do you think this is sustainable, Howie? I mean, to see this defense, really just the winning in general, kind of touched on it in the first, but this team is clicking on all cylinders.
I mean, if you're asking me if the team is going to go 44-0, I'm going to say no.
Well,
1-2, which is hit right back to Josh Pano, who slides to his left. Perfect throw, and the stretch over there by Cade Manning. 2 up, 2 down here in the fourth.
the range of Josh Pano. I mean, that play looked easy. That looked effortless. He's having to move 10, 15 feet to his left to make that play.
There's so many plays by Josh Pano that he makes look effortless that are not. His patented play ranging to his right where he just throws on the run, and it's always perfect somehow, just almost silly even, as it seems unnecessary at times, but he makes it work. Graydon West, the batter. And this pitch is chopped out to first. Long run for Cade Manning. That's off his glove, and he can't gather the baseball to make any attempt to Michael Yates. So 3 errors now on the Miners in this one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Probably going to go down as an error there, but just really hitting no man's land. Manning having a range, we'll say 7, 8 feet to his right. Would have been a hard play to make, but understandably an error.
Yeah, that was certainly the hardest of the 3 errors that have occurred, but that ball should have been in the backhand of Cade Manning. And a good throw would have got Graydon West in the inning. So it's Chase Catafias. And another error for the Miners, uncharacteristically. First pitch to Chase. Head high. Yates with a lot of confidence on the mound. Nobody even thinking about stretching down the right field line, as we're getting to the point in the season where pitchers can go a little bit deeper into games. 1-0. Downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Yates worked 3 innings in his first start on the 7th against the Glacier Pilots. And he's already almost through 4 here. 2-1 Miners. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and hit high in the air. Right center field, should be playable. Vergara and Avila over, and I think Avila made the catch, and
Somersaults.
I guess he did. Wow. So some miscommunication out in right center field, but Blake Avila comes up with it. We're off to the bottom of the 4th. Miners 2, Oilers 1, as you watch Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube. Back in Palmer, Alaska, Miners lead it 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Steven Lancia, Trey Triolo, and Josh Pano due up for Matsu. Max Miller continues to work for the Oilers. He settled in nicely after giving up 4 walks in the first inning. He set down 4 in a row and looks to keep things going against the bottom half of the Miners order. And Steven Lancia who leads off. Pitch. Swinging a high pop right side of the infield. Sakino's under it. And he puts the two-handed squeeze on that for out number 1.
Yeah, the Miners doing what they do, jumping on pitches early in counts, early in at-bats. First pitch swing there. It's not successful that time, but it has brought them a lot of success this season, being that aggressive.
Trey Triolo, the batter now. His first start in a Miners uniform. Struck out looking in the first inning. That ended the frame with 2 men aboard. First pitch to Trey. Outside corner and a call strike. Trey Triolo, not Trey Yanity, that's my broadcast partner. As we're having a good time on YouTube as always, and we thank everybody for tuning in.
I wish I could play baseball like that.
0-1. Nasty curveball by Max Miller, swung on and missed. We'll see if he goes to it one more time or if he tries to heat Triolo up.
Yeah, Triolo is strikeout in the first. Got him on that curveball.
0-2. Outside. Yeah, that was a curveball that dropped in for a called third strike. No argument from Triolo. He knew that he was beat. It was an excellent pitch and nothing he could do about it.
One of the better curveballs we've seen so far this season. Maybe the best.
Wind up in the 1-2. Tried that curveball, but snapped it off arm side in an even count. Two. Curveball that stays high. So suddenly Miller is not having as much success with the curveball as he would like as he walks off the back of the mound. Cracks the neck.
I think what you notice a lot of times with these young Power 5 guys, they have the stuff, but it's really inconsistent. Can't control it as much as they'd like.
3-2 pitch after a couple of shakes. Swing and a miss. Ball dropped by Schwarrick. He'll have to make the peg to first. Waits a long time and finally throws out Trey Triolo. That was weird, like a triple clutch by Schwarrick. But the strikeout is recorded, 2 down.
That was odd, Howie. I don't know if he was waiting for the base runner to get out of the way a bit or if he was trying to take a side step. Maybe he just couldn't collect the baseball, but waited till about 5 feet left in the run. Still in time.
Yeah, it almost resulted in Triolo reaching first on the strikeout. But it's 6 in a row set down by Trey Triolo as Josh Pano steps in. First pitch is high for ball 1. Trey, Josh Pano, our Who's Striking Gold feature presented by Alaska Mining and Diving Supply.
Yeah, Josh Pano with an excellent ball game in yesterday's win, 17-5 win, as curveball's going to be in the dirt there. But Pano, one of these guys that's just been so consistent all season on defense, went 4 for 5 last night, picked up 3 runs, batted in, scored twice himself, and got the nomination for Who is Striking Gold.
As action begins down the left field line. Nothing going on down the right field line. This is Michael Yates' game at the moment as he'll try to get through 5 and qualify for the win. Jacob Steele, the batter, as he tries to continue the 2-out rally started by Pano, who's on first with a single pitch. Stays high.
Jacob Steele making his rounds here in Alaska. I saw he got out to the abandoned mine shaft yesterday.
1-0. Off the chain link fence. Well, then maybe Jacob Steele should have been the Who's Striking Gold feature, right?
I don't know if he got any up there. It's might be dormant at this point. Not quite sure, but Jacob Steele has so much fun. One of the livelier personalities on the team.
1-1 way outside. Yeah, Jacob Steele was having fun at the team dinner, which, by the way, was excellent for those of you that were wondering. As Trey and I mentioned it about 50 times yesterday, Denise made some chili, and fabulous. 2-1 pitch. Outside corner try. Miller didn't get it as he hops up off the mound. He wanted that call from Ryan Gill.
We were excited, Howie. I mean, there was a lot of hype built around that dinner all week long. We knew it was an opportunity to eat some delicious food. And get to know these guys a little better.
And I was getting hungrier and hungrier with each passing base on balls. The total 15 by the end. 3-1. There's a strike.
Yeah, I think we need to call the 10-run rule maybe just the Denise Christopher rule.
Yeah, the guys had a lot of fun at the dinner yesterday, hanging out on the porch that is treated for mosquitoes, thankfully. Otherwise, I don't know if you'd want to eat out there, as whatever treatment program the Christophers have is excellent.
Would like to get it for my clothing, my body as well.
Yeah, bring the bug spray if you're coming up. 3-2 pitch, runner goes. Pitch is popped up, and this will work its way into fan territory.
I don't think you can really emphasize that enough, Howie. I mean, bottles. I know that they allowed only a certain amount of liquid on the airplane, but the second you land, that has to be your first stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Howie and I regret that it was not ours.
Another 3-2 pitch to Jacob Steele. Pano takes off, and this one's fought off. So Pano will have to retreat. He's getting his sprints in. Yeah, a lot is made about how big the mosquitoes are here, and they are a little bit larger, but as you and I were talking about, Trey, they're still mosquitoes, guys. I mean, they're not gargantuan, but there is a lot of them, and they do bite like the rest of the mosquitoes. 3-2 pitch, runner goes, and this one stays high for ball 4. A 6 walk issued by Max Miller, his first since the second inning. 2 on, 2 out, and we will see if Miller is allowed to continue. It looks like he will not be, as Larry McCann is up from his bucket seat and out to the mound to pull out a starter.
Really an amazing start when you consider 6 walks and 3 to start the game, 3 4-pitch walks in the first inning, another one in the second. He's allowed 2 runs and just 2 hits. And it's going to be the night for him.
Yeah, we weren't sure if Miller was going to make it through the first inning, quite frankly, when he started the game with something like 10 or 11 straight balls, 3 straight walks, had another one in the inning. Did a good job to rally and get Triolo to end that threat with only 2 runs and led off the second inning with a walk as well. But since then, he's settled in. He had a streak of 6 in a row, retired, but into more trouble here in the fourth with the single by Pano and now the walk to Steele. And a new man comes in from the left field line for the Peninsula Oilers.
Coming in to pitch for the Oilers, out of Southwestern College, number 19, Thomas Ringer.
It's a righty, and it's Thomas Ringer.
Yeah, excited to see the bullpen for the Oilers. See what the Miners can do here. Really only one game has been a duel for these Matsu Miners to this point, as game number 1 in Chugiak remained relatively low scoring. Opening day as well, 3-2 in that one. But still just 2-1 here in the bottom of the fourth.
Thomas Ringer continues his warm-up tosses out of Southwestern College, taking over for Max Miller. So far for Max, 3 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs allowed at this point, 2 runners his responsibility, 6 walks, 4 strikeouts for Max Miller out of Baylor University, as Thomas Ringer will be thrown into the ringer and have to face the top of the Matsu Miners lineup, starting with Blake Avila, who has had a perfect night to this point, a walk and a single. Both of the Miners' runs coming in the first inning. Avila and Sanseri scored them. They both reached via walk. Avila scored on a wild pitch. An RBI groundout for Cade Manning brought home Casey Sanseri. Some bad luck for Michael Yates in the second inning as Casey Burnham reached on an error to start it. He got a strikeout, another error, this one on Josh Pano. Advanced runners to first and second. An RBI single by Willie Schwark brought home Casey Burnham, and an unearned run. That's where we stand right now. It's Miners 2, Oilers 1. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning, 2 on and 2 outs, as Thomas Ringer is just about finished up with his warm-up tosses. Blake Avila will dig into the left-handed batter's box.
How your punt count on the season is now up to 2 with that one on Ringer. But I love it. Ringer, originally from La Mesa, California. Just a freshman this past year at Southwestern. Another righty.
Yeah, he dangles that arm down by his right knee. Stares down his catcher, Willie Schwark, and the batter, Blake Avila. Sets belly button high. checks on Peno and brings it. This is a fly ball to left field. Jake Brown is under it, and it's an easy play, 2 in the inning. So 1 pitch, and the out garnered by Thomas Ringer. We're through 4 complete, off to the 5th. Miners lead it 2-1 as you watch Mat-Su Miners Baseball on YouTube. Top of the 5th inning, Miners 2, Oilers 1. Michael Yates will continue to work here against Willie Schwartz, the 9-hole hitter for the Oilers. Trey Becker and Shun Sakaino to follow. First pitch, called strike. Nice curveball by Michael Yates, who's had everything working. Locating his fastball, a good slider, and a good curveball as well. 0-1. Slider, fouled away, 0-2.
I love the sequence, too. I mean, very unpredictable so far in this game. The stuff has been there, but the timing has been there as well.
Gets the sign he likes from Lancia, sets at the belt. 0-2. Swung on and hit high in the air. Left field. Trey Triolo in. But this one's going to drift back towards the infield grass where Josh Peno will make the play a step off of it for out number 1.
Yeah, that ball had some spin on it. Kind of got it off the end of the bat there. You'll see that with 2 strikes. Guys choked up a little bit. Some unusual baseballs in those situations, but played well by Peno.
Leadoff man Trey Becker, the batter. A couple of ground outs for Trey. And just such a fun game to broadcast. Very smooth. First pitch to Becker.
It really has been, Howie, and, you know, it's so different than from what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, it really is. A wild game yesterday and a fun one to broadcast as well, don't get me wrong. 1-0 pitch to Becker. Swinging a drive down the left field line. Long run for Triolo. Still chasing back near the track at the wall. That thing will carry out of here. A solo home run for Trey Becker and a 2-2 game.
Another ball that just kept drifting. We saw one in yesterday's game. That one hit so high in the air, thought it had a chance to stay in. But the extra legs for Trey Becker, and we're even.
And just like that, it's 2-2. As we talk about how clean the game has been to this point, that's one of the fun things about baseball. You never know when the scoring's going to happen, and it happened right there as Shun Sakaino digs in and takes outside for ball 1.
Yeah, it's a tough one there. Just hung it a bit. Becker at the top of this order. A couple of ground outs in the game. Made an adjustment.
1-0 misses down and in. Yeah, that's the first ball that we have, second ball we have seen leave the yard here at Herman Brothers Field, I believe. Blake Avila had one as well on his first game as this misses outside. 3-0 now.
Yeah, it is, and we've seen some off the wall to this point.
But Becker was able to get that one up. Maybe he got some help from the wind and carried it over the wall. 3-0 pitch. Outside ball 4. Home run and a walk And the Oilers are threatening here in the 5th.
You know, and this is where we really can take a look at Michael Yates' resiliency. He allowed a home run, now a walk. A little bit shaken up. Let's see if he can bounce back here against the heart of the lineup.
Yeah, it looks like Mason Brandenburger just received the call from down the right field line. He'll trot out there with his jacket and start to loosen up and stretch a bit. He might be first out of the chute for Tyler LeBrun and company. Dalton Bowling, the batter. Strikeout and a flyout for Dalton. Man on first, 1 out, 2-2. Pitch. Downstairs and a good block by Lancey. All of a sudden, Yates is a bit wild here.
Yeah, he'll settle it down here. It just takes some time, and, you know, you face a big power-hitting right-handed batter to start it out at the top of that lineup in Becker. Then you have a much different look with
1-0. Here's a strike. Fastball right there.
Shakino and, you know, now Dalton Bowling. Big power-hitting righty again. See if he can bounce back.
Bowling with 9 home runs this year at San Jose State. Pickoff attempt. Yates has had a nifty move, but unable to nab anybody just yet as Sakino gets his uniform dirty over there. Manning holds him on. Yates stares down and brings the 1-1 pitch, which stays low.
Michael Yates, first couple of days we met him, told us a very cool story about how he came back and had to fight back from surgery in his high school career. It's made him better. It's made him more confident. Said he throws better after the fact.
2-1. Runner goes. Pitch swung on and missed. And yeah, so not fouled off. So a stolen base for Sakino, who's in scoring position now and represents the lead run in this game.
You know, for every guy, it's different. Tommy John is one of those things that can really psych guys out. That's something Michael told us. There was guys he was rehabbing with, guys on his team, guys that have been on his team in college that have taken years to come back.
2-2 is grounded back to Yates. That's a nifty play behind the back, and he guns down Bowling. Wow, how about that play from Michael Yates?
Oh, my goodness. That's got to be the play of the year to this point.
Yeah, he just threw that thing behind his back, a no-look stab by Yates, and delivered a strike to Cade Manning for out number 2.
As Steven Lancia watched it go down, he takes about 10 steps towards the mound, and they just look at each other and start laughing. Look what I found, Michael Yates.
Look what he found indeed. James Shimashita, the batter now. 2 out, runner on second, tie game. Pitch. Outside. Mason Brandenburger is soft tossing now down the right field line.
Man, wasn't even looking at the baseball there. Just stuck the glove out. Sometimes it takes a little swagger, some finesse for Michael Yates.
Checks the runner, 1-0. Fouled away.
But I say that, Howie, about the Tommy John is a bit of a segue. Some unfortunate news. Our broadcasting friend, Calvin Johnson, the main man in Chugiak, was also asked to pitch this season. Got into yesterday's game, and it's looking like he's going to have the surgery himself.
1-1 to Shimashita, misses low. Yeah, nothing confirmed with Calvin Johnson, as we saw him throw a ton of pitches, take a rest, throw a lot more pitches. He is not a pitcher, pitched in high school. He's a college baseball player that was asked to help out the Oilers and broadcast as well. And he came off the mound holding his right elbow, said he heard something pop, said it aches, doesn't feel good, so tests will need to be done, but not looking good for our friend Calvin Johnson as Shimashita fouls this one away at a 2-2 count.
Yeah, it's just so unfortunate. A situation could have been avoided, in my opinion. Don't want to get too far off on a tangent here, but in a league like this, there's no reason to put a young man that's not a pitcher, that is not used to that situation, in that situation.
Yeah, after he threw a ton of pitches on Thursday, they were piling up yesterday. He's spinning curveballs as this 2-2 is foul back. And really, it is an unfortunate situation and one that maybe would have happened, but Calvin Johnson, broadcaster, plays the field, not a pitcher, and unfortunately, his career is in jeopardy potentially, and as he stares down a potential surgery that is not fun. Yates has had it. I've had it. 2-2. Up and away. The recovery is long. The surgery is, of course, painful. after you wake up from it. And it's just not a good thing. And our thoughts are with Calvin Johnson, and we wish him the best. Hope we'll see him again this year. 3-2 pitch is roped down the right field line. That is a foul ball. Shimashita missed a game-leading double by about 6 or 7 feet.
Yeah, that ball hit hard. You can tell he got it a little bit out front of it. I think he knew it was a foul ball the whole way, but a little bit dangerous here with 2 outs as Yates tries to finish off the Oilers here in the 5th.
Solo home run by Trey Becker a few batters ago tied the game. A walk and a stolen base has Sakino on second. A miraculous play by Michael Yates to set down Dalton Bowling for out number 2. Now full count on Shimashita. Yates checks the runner. Brings it. Fouled away. James putting up a fight right now.
Yeah, really hanging in there. Yates having to labor a little bit.
Shimashita, the veteran. Redshirt junior out of San Diego, California. Spent 4 years at San Jose State University. Pitch. Outside ball 4. He shows his veteran leadership and works a 2-out walk. Casey Burnham will be the batter. We'll see what Tower LeBron elects to do. Left-hander Mason Brandenberger is been warming up for a while. Casey Burnham, a left-handed hitter. But no move made just yet by LeBron or James Dillard, the pitching coach. So it is going to be Yates and Burnham as Michael's trying to get through 5 here. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 game. Fastball strike.
Yeah, Yates with a nice bounce back after the home run and the walk. Settles down a little bit. Does allow another walk here, but immediately asks for the ball back. Pumps the glove. Ready to go.
A 1 offering on its way to Burnham. Swinging a chopper out to second. Sinceri backs up on that. He's going to flip to second and retire James Shimashita and the Peninsula Oilers. So a solo home run by Trey Becker ties the game. We're halfway home here at Herman Brothers Field. Miners 2, Oilers 2 as you watch Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the 5th in a 2-2 game, Casey Sunseri leads off against Thomas Ringer. And takes a ball down and away. Trey Becker tied the game in the top half. It's the heart of the order for the Miners here. Sunseri, Sorelli, and Vergara. 1-0. Swinging a high fly ball, center field. Casey Burnham is over. And he puts that can of corn away for out number 1.
Yeah. Another early pitch. Swing. Another out, but we saw a lot of success there yesterday. Wonder if this game goes on, the further we go on, if we start to see them get a little bit more patient in these at-bats.
Yeah, well, we know one guy who's patient. It's Nick Sorelli. And lined out. First pitch. Right down the middle for... Ringer brings the 0-1. Curveball, chopped foul. Thomas with a bit of a longer curveball than his counterpart Max Miller, who really snapped quite a few good ones off in his start. Went 3 2/3. 2 hits, 2 runs. And with the Becker homer, he's off the hook for the loss. 0-2 pitch to Sorelli. Curveball hit softly into center field. Long run for Burnham, who is playing back. He's not going to get it. It's a 1-out single for Nick Sorelli.
Well, how about this, Howie? We've had 3 at-bats already and just 1 walk for Nick Sorelli. What's going on tonight?
I don't know, but if I'm LeBron, I'm benching him for sure.
Uncharacteristic.
I mean, his pace is 2.5 walks per game, so he's in trouble. He's in big trouble here in the 5th inning with only 1 walk and a single. Alex Vergara, the batter, with 1 on and 1 out. Miners trying to take back the lead here in the 5th. Pitch from Ringer. Swung on and hit down the left field line. Long run for Brown. Still going, still going. Foul territory now. He slides and he can't hang on to it. That would have been an excellent play by Jake Brown, but he didn't make it. So it's just a foul ball strike.
Wind blowing in a little bit now, kind of blowing in into the right a bit. I think that's ultimately was the crux there for the Oilers. Long run and almost a really nice play, but as you said, Howie, just a strike.
Ringer dangles that arm down below his knee, checks on Sorelli. Looks at no one at second base and brings the 0-1. Downstairs. Just getting some practice in for when there's a runner on second, right?
Oh, yeah. Got to get in sync.
Probably just a natural part of his motion. Checks on Sorelli a couple times. 1-1. Right down the middle for strike 2.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. I think Vergara knew it. Seen some wild ABs in the last couple of days. You can't fault him. He did face a shortstop yesterday.
1-2 pitch. Up and in. Yeah, Patty McCormick, luckily, was not even acting like he was a pitcher when he threw yesterday. As I was talking to some of the batters after the game, he was throwing anywhere from 40 to 60 miles an hour during that appearance.
Becomes a new source of entertainment.
2-2. Downstairs, that one bounces away from Schwark, and Sorelli will take 90 feet and advance to scoring position.
Yeah, gets a base there. Unfortunately, still not a stolen base. Waiting on it.
Yeah, he almost had one the other day, but was sent back. Can't remember what exactly happened. There were a lot of things that happened yesterday, but he had a swipe, and Connor Lindsay ended up sending him back for whatever the reason might have been. 3-2 pitch. On its way to Alex Vergara. And that one's chopped foul.
No hit batsman, to this point at least.
Yeah, you're right. You've seen our fair share of walks. Yates has issued 3 of them. Miller issued 6. None so far by Thomas Ringer. We'll see if Michael Yates comes back out for the 6th inning. It's certainly a possibility. Brandenburger no longer warming up. Not sure if that means he's ready or if he's not going to come out. Full count pitch to Vergara. Chopped foul.
You wonder how they manage the rest of tonight. This is going to be one of the first games. You have the whole team here. Obviously a competitive game to this point, tied up at 2. Maybe this is our tight game scenario. We see it unfold tonight.
Yeah, Cole Townsend. They would love to bring him on in a save opportunity. Another try here to Vergara. Curveball, strike 3. Pretty pitch by Thomas Ringer to ring up Alex Vergara.
Yeah, that bender got the best of him there. Tough at bat for Vergara. Battled, hung in there. Unfortunately goes down, but now we get another chance to see Cade Manning. Had a strikeout in the 3rd, a ground out back in the 1st inning, but he did drive in a run, his first of the season.
We'll try to drive in Nick Sorelli here and give the Miners the lead. 2-2 game. Pitch to Manning. Swung on and hit softly into right center field. Back on it is the second baseman, Sakino, and he has plenty of room to make that catch in the outfield grass. So Sorelli singles, reaches second on the wild pitch, but is stymied there. We're off to the 6th. Miners 2, Oilers 2, as you listen to Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Alaska Airlines.
For your Miners from Graham, Texas, and courtesy of the University of New Mexico Lobos, number 26, Owen Loach.
We Alaskans like to ride hard, but we also work hard for our ride. That's why RC Detail offers our monthly detail club so that you can keep that showroom shine inside and out all year round. RC Detail is also the only G-Tech certified ceramic installer in all of South Central Alaska and are trained pros in the art of paint correction. Go to rc-detail.com to learn more because your vehicle deserves the best. RC Detail, it's all about the details. Trey is Owen Loach. Pumps over a strike to Jake Brown to start the 6th.
The details are very important, Howie. Thank our friends over at RC Detail.
0-1 pitch is lined softly down the right field line. That is going to drop in for a hit. Jake Brown's going to cut the bag and head for second. He's got a bloop two-bagger.
Yeah, that one off the bat you knew was going to be trouble. Just kind of looped it down the line. Had the right amount of flair on it. Didn't know if it was going to stay in fair territory. It does. And now the Oilers threaten. This is starting to feel like a Twilight Zone episode, Howie. The Miners in a tie game as we get into the later, still in the middle innings. We approach the later innings at least.
Yeah, Owen Loach was excellent. The first time he pitched for the Miners, that was on the 8th against the Chinooks. 3 innings, no hits, no runs, 3 walks. He hit a man, struck out 1. Bloop double to start. Graydon West the batter now as he tries to give the Oilers the lead. Takes below the knees for ball 1. An excellent job by Michael Yates. 5 innings, couple of hits, couple of runs, only 1 of them earned. 3 walks and 2 strikeouts for Michael, who looked the sharpest we've seen him all year.
Yeah, really looked great tonight, and you love to see it for Yates. He needs more starts, needs to get more consistency. That'll come with time. Look good tonight.
1-0. Shows bunt, lays it down. It's a pretty good one. Loach will pounce on it. He'll have 1 play. It's to first. A successful sacrifice for Graydon West as he gets the lead run 90 feet away.
Yeah, don't love it as a Miners fan, but as a strategist, that's how you do it, Howie. A perfect bunt there. Getting that go-ahead run just 90 feet away now.
Yeah, you like how he waited until the second pitch, too. Didn't tip his hand on the very first pitch. Might have caught Steele napping a little bit, but honestly, there was nothing the Miners could do. Perfectly placed in between Lancia and Loach, and that's going to be a sacrifice all day as Jake Brown is down to third, and Chase Catafias digs in. Left on right in the pitch. Outside corner and a called strike.
Yeah, a bit more of a generous strike zone today. Seeing the corners allowed.
Yeah, Ryan Gill, we had 0-1. Cut on missed. Wow. Catafias looked very uncomfortable on that swing. We had Connor Lindsay call the plate in 3 games in a row for us, so nice change of pace. Lindsay's done excellent, but it's Ryan Gill behind the plate this time. Brad Polk, the field umpire, situated over Loesch's left shoulder. 0-2 pitch. Cut on, missed. 3 pitches, and Catafias is gone, and a huge strikeout for out number 2.
Cannot overstate the impact of that out. This team finding ways to have success in the hard moments. They allow a leadoff double. And the sac bunt. They've already been small balled once in this game.
So the Oilers will need a 2-out knock by Willie Schwarrick. Runs are even, hits are even. First pitch. Tap foul. Miners with 3 glaring errors on the scoreboard have not cost them that much. It's cost them 1 run so far. 2-2 game. Top of the 6th inning. Matsu Miners baseball on YouTube. 0-1. Swung on and hit high in the air out to right field. Avila drifting back. Still going. Still going. Slows now near the wall. And has enough room to make the play. So Owen Loesch gives up a leadoff double, but strands Jake Brown on third base. Excellent baseball game, and we're glad you've joined us on a Monday night. We're off to the bottom of the 6th. Miners 2, Oilers 2 on YouTube. Thomas Ringer back out for his 2nd full inning of work. Bottom of the 6th inning, Miners 2, Oilers 2 in a fun baseball game from Herman Brothers Field. Steven Lancia will lead off the 6th inning here. He's walked, and he has popped out. Ringer into the windup, and the first pitch is cut on a miss. Lancia way late on that fastball. Cap falls off. Ringer will have to throw that thing back on his head.
How about this, Howie? Another pronunciation in from the comment section.
Uh-oh. That means we got one wrong. 0-1 is swung on and hit back up the middle. That's through for a hit. Steven Lancia leads off the 6th inning with a single.
The hit machine, Steven Lancia, keeps it going. Owen Loesch is going to be Owen Lesh.
Owen Lesh.
Our fault there. Thank you, Mrs. Lesh, for getting in the comment section, letting us know. Guys, if there is anything we are pronouncing wrong, please let us know. We'll make a correction. Glad we could take care of the Heidel family. Been a lot of fun getting to know Brandon.
Yeah, Owen Lesh, excellent 6th inning. Worked around a leadoff double to keep this thing tied. Try to give him the lead. Trey Triolo squares around, bunts that one. It's a good one. Schwarrick pounces on it, and he has one play. It's to first. Successful sacrifice by Trey Triolo, and a man in scoring position for the bottom of the Miners' order.
How about that, Howie? Trey Triolo, in his first start with the Miners, already laying down bunts, sacrificing himself for the team. That is what minor ball has been about so far this season. Another prime example of it there. And, hey, another runner in scoring position here with less than 2 outs.
Yeah, it's Steven Lancia, who led off the inning with a single. Josh Pano with a perfect evening working, a walk and a single. Ringer stares him down, dangles the arm around his right knee, checks on Lancia. Once, now twice. Pitch. Outside.
Must teach the curveball over there in the Peninsula of Kenai. Seen some dazzling ones so far in this game.
Yeah, first by Miller, now by Ringer. 1-0. Swung on and chopped out to third. That's going to be gloved by West. He'll look the runner back and throw Pano out for out number 2.
Yeah, West doing a really nice job there of making sure Lancia was going to stay put at second.
Yeah, Lancia back in with a headfirst dive just in case West tried to nab him heading back to the second base bag. But the right play made by West, take the out at first base. And it's up to Jacob Steele with a man in scoring position and 2 outs. If the tie is going to be broken here in the 6th inning. First pitch to Steele. Outside corner, strike 1.
The Houdini of strikeouts. Might be a fun nickname as he keeps up this streak of avoiding them entirely.
Oh, 1. Same pitch, same result. Beautiful day in Palmer for baseball. Mid-60s, the haze is lifted, and just a gorgeous day for a game on the diamond.
There's some clouds over here in left field, Howie. Stop you in your tracks before we do this cycle again.
I think Jacob Steele just got some cotton in his eye, had to call time as that flies around everywhere.
The elements taking effect here, finally in this Alaskan summer.
0-2 pitch from Ringer. And Ringer will step off, listens to the third base dugout, which were yelling out commands at him as Lancia's lead got pretty large. Oh, 2 pitch. Cut on, missed. Announcer's jinx gets Jacob Steele and gets the Miners out here in the 6th inning. Leadoff single, Lancia stranded on second base. We're off to the 7th. Miners 2, Oilers 2, as you watch Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube.
Two to two, your score as the Miners and the Oilers deke it out here at Herman Brothers Field. Game number 7 of the 2022 ABL season. The Miners have been perfect so far, 5-0, 1 game in delay. They try to keep it going here. Howie, excellent job there on the play-by-play, Mike. Take you through the final 3 as we have a brand new game. Not only is it a tie game, but the lineup's reset as we head to the top. It's Trey Becker. Owen Lesh remains on the mound and delivers a strike to get it started. Been a very competitive game to this point. 4 hits for the home Miners, 3 for the Oilers. As the 0-1 skips in the dirt, it'll be 1-1. The one stat that we're not quite used to, Howie, the errors. 3 on the night for the Miners.
Yeah, 3 errors tonight for Matsu. A couple in the second inning. Allowed Burnham to score. All in the infield. 1 apiece for Sinceri, Peno, and Cade Manning.
The 1-1, swing and a miss. Looked like a change up there on the outside. It'll make it 1-2. Lesh, another one of the Miners pitchers that always works out of the stretch. You never see him in the windup. Feels more comfortable there. The big lefty, the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back whiffs and a strikeout to get us started here in the 7th. Trey Becker goes down. That'll bring up Shun Sakino for his 4th at-bat of the game. Walked twice, grounded out in the 2nd.
Yeah, Lesh just overpowered Becker there, who was able to deposit one over the left field wall for the 2nd Oilers run. Last man to touch the plate so far.
Swings at the first pitch, chops it into the dirt. It'll be 0-1. If you've not done so yet, be sure to follow us on social media. Matsu Miners, well, rather Matt Miners on Instagram. Made it easier for you there. You can find us on Twitter at Matsu Miners, Facebook as well. The 0-1 swung on, skied in the air to left field. Long run in for the left fielder, Trey Triolo, but he makes the catch for out number 2. That ball, similarly to a foul ball we saw Jake Brown struggle with last half inning, is caught by Trey Triolo. Now 2 up, 2 down for Lesh here in the 7th.
Lesh trying to make quick work of the top of the Oilers' order and turn it over to the top of his order, which lurks here in the bottom of the 7th.
It's the 3-hole hitter, Dalton Bolin, trying to go baseballing here in the 7th. I
like
think that puts me on the board.
Yeah, I like it.
The 1-0. Fouls it off. Out of play, it'll be 1-1. I don't quite have that smooth delivery that you do, Howie, with these puns.
No, hey, nothing like summer baseball and time to work on it, right? The players are working on it. We're working on it, too.
The 1-1 is swung on and missed. It'll be strike 2. I love a good pun. Just need some more time. That's all. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Owen Lesh, a dominating 7th inning as he strikes out 2 and does not allow a base runner. This one is tied up at 2 apiece. This is Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented to you by Alaska Airlines. Don't go anywhere. The bottom of the 7th coming up next. The last of the 7th inning, the Miners come to bat here in a 2-2 game as they send it back to the top of the lineup as well. Blake Avila, 1 for 2 on the night. He has drawn a walk, had a hit back in the 2nd inning. Flew out in his last appearance. He will step in and try to get things going here in the 7th. First pitch is a ball in the dirt. Thomas Ringer continuing here from the windup. The 1-0 is fouled off. It'll be 1-1. Blake Avila, an instant spark in this lineup. Saw him down in the 5-hole in his first appearance. Moved up into that second slot on Sunday. Now leads it off. 1-1. A curveball misses low. 2-1.
Yeah, Blake attends Central Arizona, won the JUCO championship, and he wasn't going to be held down in the middle of the order for long. Hit safely in all 4 games.
2-1, swung on and roped down the first baseline. It's a fair ball off the glove of the first baseman. Avila rounds it. He is going to stay there. And a leadoff single for the right fielder. Miners getting it going here in the 7th.
Yeah, 5 singles so far for the Miners in the game, but that's it. No extra base hits to this point, as this Oilers staff has done better than any we've seen this year of holding the bats in check to this point.
They have been excellent. Casey Sinceri now, who moves over to second base for this game, will step in for the 4th time as well. He has a walk on the night, a ground out, and a fly out. Last time in the 5th. Runner on first, nobody out. The first pitch. Two-seamer, misses away.
Sinceri, truly a utility player. Can play anywhere on the field, can bat anywhere in the order. 1, 2, 9, you name it.
Pickoff attempt. Avila in safely.
There's a little bit of action down the left field line. That's where the Oilers pin is exposed. Someone tossing left-handed about halfway between the mound and his catching counterpart.
Another pickoff move. Avila back again. As we look down this right field line, Colthausen makes his way down there. Still with the jacket on, just taking a walk. Assumed to see him at some point in this game. The 1-0. That's going to be called strike 1, a fastball. At the knees, enough to even the count. Low hanging arm. Of the pitcher. Has a bunt attempt by Sinceri. Just missed it. Hits it foul. It'll be 1-2. Sneak attack from the second baseman. Ringer looks back the runner again. From the stretch, here's his 1-2. Swung on, hit out to short. Could be tailor-made. On to second, the throw to first, in time, and that is a double play. A leadoff base hit by Blake Avila. Now all for naught, as there's 2 outs and nobody on. That will bring up Nick Sorelli.
Hitter number 37, Nick Sorelli.
Ball was hit well. Just in an unfortunate spot there for Casey Sinceri. It'll turn over to Sorelli now. Having a 1-for-2 night himself. Had a patented walk in the first inning. Looking to get on base any way he can. First pitch, misses inside. That one's going to miss away. Fastball there now, 2-0. Swings at this one, rolls it down to first. Dalton Bowling is going to take it himself, steps on the bag. That is out number 3. The Miners threaten, but a double play. Wraps it up here in the bottom of the 7th. We head to the 8th. Your score, 2-2. This is Matsu Miners Baseball, brought to you by Alaska Airlines.
The Orca Cooler. Blue ticket. Here's our winning number.
Two innings to determine this ball game tonight. 2-2 is your score. Top of the eighth now. The Oilers come to bat. As the Miners try to hold him steady here. Owen Lesh will continue on the mound. His third inning of work now. Michael Yates with an excellent start. Turned it over to Lesh, and he will now go here again in the eighth. As his 1-0 is swung on and popped up. Peno is going to call off Sinceri and make the catch for out number one.
Going to call off Sinceri and a trio of outfielders as well.
How about the backup for this team? Everybody trying to pick up their teammates. Some excellent backup work there. And that will retire James Shimashita.
Yeah, that ball was hit high in the air, off to the right, and behind the second base bag, Trey Triolo, the Miners' left fielder, was all the way in and could have made the catch on that ball as well.
Kind of no man's land there as Burnham is going to swing at the first pitch. Softly pops it out to short. The third baseman, Jacob Steele, is going to come on over into the infield grass and make the catch for out number two. Lesh working quickly here in the eighth.
Yeah, that's about as easy and quick of a 2 outs that you're going to see in this game. Can of corn behind the second base bag, pop 6. Little flare out to third, pop 5. And quickly 2 men out as Lesh tries to send us to the home half of inning number 8.
The first 2 innings of yesterday's game took over an hour and 15 minutes. 2 outs here in about 90 seconds in the 8th inning. And that's a called strike into the hitter, Jake Brown.
Yeah, just one of the fun things about this game is we turned basically 180 degrees from yesterday.
As that one's in the dirt, 1-1.
As we saw 22 combined runs, 15 walks issued by the Chinooks alone. Miners had 3 more and hit 3 more on their side.
1-1 is in the dirt again. Now 2-1.
And
sloppy baseball.
And this game very well played. 3 errors by the Miners, but don't let that deceive you. It's been a clean baseball game. A few walks on both sides, but overall an excellent game and one that's knotted up right now at 2.
The 2-1 swing and a miss, 2-2, and you don't want to make excuses here, Howie, but on the errors, really tough play for Cade Manning down at first to get over on that one. Weird hop for Sinceri. On the first error, Peno wasn't going to go perfect as the 2-2 is swung on, rolled out to third. Right on the line, Jacob Steele is going to have trouble with that one. And error number 4, as we talk about it, will result in 2 bases for the Oilers here with 2 outs in the 8th.
Yeah, so the entire
Alaska Airlines. The Miners need just a run and 3 outs to stay undefeated on this young season. They come up here in the bottom of the 8th, 2-2 your score. It's the middle of the lineup now. Alex Vergara to lead it off. Cade Manning will start on deck, and Steven Lancia will clean it up in the hole.
Your center fielder, number 17, Alex Vergara.
Yeah, really, this is the game that the Miners want to play.
Thomas Ringer stays on the mound for the Oilers. The first pitch is swung on, hit foul down the third base line. It'll be 0-1 on Vergara.
I mean, I don't think Tyler LeBrun and company could have drawn it up any better. You get 5 excellent innings out of Michael Yates. Owen Lesh goes 3. And now you have Cole Townsend warming up down the right field line. He'll come on in the 9th if this game is tied or the Miners can take the lead.
0-1, swung on and driven high in the air to left field. This one carrying towards the wall. It will be a foul ball, and it will drop in there for strike 2.
Other than the sloppy defense on the infield, an excellent game for the Miners, and they just need to muster 1 more. And as you mentioned, get 3 outs and improve to 6-0 on the year.
1 swing is all you need. And the 0-2. Misses away. 1-2. Head coach Tyler LeBrun, sorry there, Howie, is really having 1-2 swung on, popped up right side. This one drifting, it will be in foul territory. A 3-man race for it. It's going to be the right fielder, Shimashita, over to make the catch for out number 1. But Tyler LeBrun, a vocal head coach, hands-on, always standing outside of the dugout, right next to that on-deck circle, making sure his guys are in order for the first time this season in a bit more of a tense situation.
Yeah, how about the job that Thomas Ringer has done? Came on in the 4th inning with 2 on and 2 out. Was able to get Avila to fly out. He's worked 3 innings since then, plus an out here in the 8th. Excellent job by Ringer.
As he keeps it going, he'll now face Cade Manning. A curveball in the dirt starts him out 1-0. Manning on the night got his first RBI of the season in the first with a ground out. Struck out in the 3rd, popped out in the 5th. Swing and a miss there. It'll be 1-1. The final pieces of this puzzle for the Miners in 2022. Manning, one of them, as he looks at the 1-1 away. Now 2-1.
Yeah, surprisingly for the Miners, unlike what you see in a lot of leagues, and part of it is how late the Alaska Baseball League starts. A lot of these leagues start at the end of May. Alaska Baseball League doesn't start until the beginning of June.
Now the 2-1. Swung on, popped up. Left side of the infield. The third baseman, West, runs in on it. Long run, he's going to drop it. That ball kept on drifting. The pitcher, Ringer, not making an effort for it. The catcher, Willie Schwarwick, looked at it as well as the third baseman, Graydon West, ended up in between them where he dropped that baseball. And a 1-out freebie for the Miners.
Yeah, likely going to be an error charged on Graydon West, but that's really a shame, frankly, as the wind played tricks with that one, all kinds of tricks. And as you mentioned, Trey, right in between Schwarwick and Miller, who were just sitting there being spectators. And it doesn't appear that the Oilers coaching staff likes that, as they call a meeting on the mound. Could even almost make the case that that would have to be credited as a hit to Cade Manning. But an error on Graydon West it is, and it looks like a call to the bullpen as well, as Will O'Neill is set to charge in from the left field line. Larry McCann takes the baseball from Thomas Ringer, who was excellent.
Yeah, he really was tonight, as you said. Came in the 4th, gets him to the 8th. You wonder if that's a direct result of the missed pop-up. Probably played into it there. But he had gone quite some time. Now expected to see a change at some point. As we now get the chance to see the Southern California product, Will O'Neill.
Yeah, Will O'Neill, as you mentioned, attends USC.
And again, the pitch for the Oilers,
No play here in 2022. Interesting note on Will O'Neal from Newport Beach, California. 3 separate players on the Oilers team. Originally from Newport Beach, Trey, and population, a modest population of about 86,000 people. So an interesting note there.
$2 burger time.
Yeah, how about that? Might have been friends growing up. This game, of course, brings so many together, and you love to see teammates come to leagues like this over the summer from their colleges, but I think you'll notice, and something we've already kind of noticed as the summer has began to unfold, you come with really close relationships with maybe 1 or 2 guys, but by the end of it, you know everybody else on the team just as well as the guy that you came with.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Certainly bonds teams and teammates across team lines, as it's super fun to watch former teammates in the summer collegiate leagues battle it out in the regional games. I know I saw a lot of familiar faces and matchups with Tennessee and Notre Dame over the weekend, so just a lot of fun as Will O'Neal continues to warm up. 6'1", 195, takes over for Thomas Ringer. 3 2/3 for Ringer, 3 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Cade Manning, his responsibility on first base, but if he scores, that would be an unearned run. So no earned runs and no runs at all to this point for Ringer. And a 2-2 game, super competitive baseball at Herman Brothers Field.
Yeah, this is a nice start to this series between the Miners and the Oilers. The season series, that is been some wacky games, some games that were called early, but not too many as close as this. You could argue the Anchorage game, the first one here against the Bucks, still delayed at 5-5.
Yeah, suspended game will be picked up on June 20th, which is only a week from today. Man, these days are going by fast, Trey. We're at June 13th, if you can believe it or not, as the sprint of the summer season is closing in on the 1/4 mark.
Time flies at the top of the world. As Steven Lancia will pick it up, a runner on first base. The first batter to face Will O'Neal, the lefty, into this game. 1 out, 2-2 your score. The first pitch is inside a ball. Almost hit him there. Hat comes off for the pitcher, O'Neal.
Yeah, so we see another Power 5 product here, and Will O'Neal had Max Miller to start the game from Baylor. He was wild, issued 6 walks, was able to settle in. O'Neal with no play in 2022 for USC, so we'll see how his command is. Young left-hander.
Shaking off the cobwebs. So 1-0. Swung on, hit foul. It'll be 1-1. Jumped on the low pitch there and knocks it away.
But like Miller, you would expect his stuff to be good. But can he locate it? That's the million-dollar question for many mound mates.
The 1-1, inside again, 2-1. Very similar pitches on the first 3.
Yeah, missing glove side early. Lancia gifted him a strike by swinging at a ball and fouling it off.
The 2-1. Runners looked back, and the pitch. Up and in. It'll run 3-1 now. Big-time hitters count here for a big-time hitter in Steven Lancia. Already has 1 on the game.
Yeah, extended his hitting streak to 6 games. Sinceri's hit streak in jeopardy. It stands at 6 games at the moment.
The 3-1. Swung on, skied in the air right side. Drifting towards the line, a long run, and a catch is made right at the line by James Shimashita. An excellent play there to keep the Miners at bay, the second out of the inning. And a big one here for the Oilers in the 8th.
Yeah, that's a huge play by Shimashita down the right field line to retire Lancia. As the Oilers are now an out away from sending this thing to the 9th. The biggest threat to hang an L on the Miners for the first time this year.
Now let's see if they can handle the bats of what I do believe now is Nathan Rose. Into the game. Pinch hitting here in the 8th. Big time situation. A runner on first, now 2 outs. From the stretch is O'Neal. This one a called strike. Just hits that inner half.
Yeah, that's one of the things that you can do here if you're Tyler LeBrun and a 3-man bench now. use guys laid off of it.
0-1 swung on and driven high in the air to left field. Fairly deep, but playable. It's going to be Jake Brown making the catch as he camps under it for out number 3. The Miners threaten here in the 8th, but strand a runner. We go to the 9th inning. Your score is 2-2. A fun one coming to the end. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Mat-Su Miners Baseball on YouTube, brought to you by Alaska Airlines. Top of the 9th, a thriller here at Herman Brothers Field. 2-2 your score. Owen Lesh will remain on the mound and try to get the Miners to walk-off territory tonight. As his first pitch, swing and a miss. As we have another pinch hitter in this game, Cole Jordan, the utility man out of Utah Valley University, steps in for the Oilers.
Of course, some defensive changes for Mat-Su as well.
As that one's going to miss.
We saw Nathan Rose pinch hit there for Trey Triolo to close out the bottom half of the 8th. He stays in the game and plays second base and Terry out to left for Triolo.
As his swing and a miss there will be strike number 2. Now 1-2 the count.
Cole Jordan, the pinch hitter for Catafias, the designated hitter. So maybe no defensive moves for the Oilers.
1-2 swung on. Popped in the air to center field. Drifting to his left is going to be Alex Vergara. He makes the catch, and it's one away. Catafias 0 for 3 on the night. They switch it up with Jordan as he results in the first out of the inning. And now the catcher, Willie Schwark, for the 4th time tonight as well.
Interesting to watch the chess moves on both sides. Notably Owen Lesh, as that pitch skips in the dirt. Owen Lesh back out for his 4th inning of work. Thought we'd see Cole Towson, the closer, try to close it, quote unquote.
As that's a swing and a miss. It'll be 1-1.
As you oftentimes see coaches and managers do in the top of the 9th in a tie game, send your closer out there and try to close it out for the walk-off opportunity.
1-1, swing and a miss. Well, Owen Lesh has a contrary argument. He has been excellent tonight. His 4th inning now. Still rolling. 1 out, nobody on, and gets up in this count here as well.
Yeah, he's been picture perfect to this point, as that one is up and away. The only base runner he's allowed on an error. So he's set down 7 of the 8 man he's seen, the one that reached on an error.
2-2 as he got him there. Drop third strike. Lancia's throw down to first is in time and 2 away. Owen Lesh, have a night.
4th strikeout for Owen. And to your point, he's just been so dominant. You're almost forced to leave him out there unless you're worried about pitch count, which apparently Dillard and LeBron are not at this point. So Owen Lesh rolling right along, trying to send us to the bottom of the 9th, where the Miners will look to walk off.
As the first pitch to the leadoff hitter, Trey Becker, is skied out of play. It'll be 0-1.
Thanks for tuning in on YouTube, and stick around after the game as we'll have a special treat. Kyle Watson, the third base coach, will be in for a post-game interview, so don't leave us after the Miners try to secure a victory.
Now the 0-1. Called strike 2. 1 strike away from sending us to the bottom.
Watson, such a fun guy to talk to. Smile on his face always. Just such a kind human being.
That one is fouled into our territory. It will remain 0-2. No, it really is, Howie.
Yeah, Watson is just a great coach, really. Great guy. And like I said, shows up, works hard every day, smile on his face, and we will enjoy talking to him after the game.
As that one's in the dirt, it'll be 1-2. Really does bring so much positive energy to this program, as do many, but being a part of that staff certainly helps. Gets these players comfortable. The 1-2 again is going to miss high. It'll be 2-2 now. In the bottom of the ninth, the Miners will send Josh Pano to start it, Jacob Steele, and Blake Avila, assuming no substitutions. The 2-2 now. Swung on, softly hit out to second. The new second baseman, Nathan Rose, on to first in time for out number 3. The Miners going to try to walk it off in the ninth. We go there, tied 2-2. You are watching Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented to you by Alaska Airlines. Driving fast does not get you anywhere except in trouble. When you speed, you're subject to fines, points on your record, or worse, you could injure yourself or someone else. So before you think fast, think of the consequences. Stop speeding before it stops you. This message is brought to you by the Alaska Highway Safety Office. Howie, this is it. The bottom of the ninth, the Miners try to walk it off for the first time this season as they send Josh Pano to the plate in a 2-2 game. It's going to be Will O'Neill staying on the mound for the Oilers.
Yeah, just in time for the potential walk-off. The sun has joined us once again. It was hidden behind the clouds for a few innings and can only be a good omen for Matsu.
O'Neill will start from the stretch. The first pitch to Pano is going to miss high, 1-0.
How great would it be for a Kyle Watson post-game interview to come after our first walk-off?
It would be poetic. As the 1-0 now to Pano is going to be a called strike. Another fastball there at the knees.
Will O'Neill and the Oilers trying to say something about that excellently pitched game to this point. Max Miller, Thomas Ringer, now O'Neill.
It has been a duel. The 1-1 in the dirt. 2-1. Like I said, it'll be Jacob Steele on deck now for the Miners. Blake Avila in the hole. That's the top of the lineup. If they get there. And now the 2-1. Misses away, 3-1.
We saw the Miners have another walk-off opportunity against the Bucks in that game that was suspended due to darkness after 9. Got a runner to third with nobody out and couldn't bring him home. Some tough luck.
And now the 3-1. Thought about it. He's going to lay off, and that is ball 4. A leadoff base runner here for the Miners in the ninth.
We'll see if Pano tries to do any running. He's already tried to steal a base once and was gunned down by Willie Schwark, the catcher. A perfect throw to second. Jacob Steele has also shown the propensity to bunt a lot. So we'll see if the Miners try to play small ball here in the ninth.
It would make sense. The 9-hole hitter, Jacob Steele, now with a runner on first base and nobody out in a tie ball game here in the ninth. The pitch from O'Neal. He does square around, pulls it back, fastball away. A smart decision, and it's 1-0.
West, the third baseman, was halfway down the line trying to gobble up that bunt. Bowling, the first baseman, holds on Pano. Schwartz faked a back pick as well.
The 1-0. Squares around again, pulls it back. That one almost hit him. Has to duck away. And it is 2-0. You see the third baseman, Graydon West, preparing for it. Yet again. Middle infield has to stay close to the bag. Now the 2-0. On the way to Steele. Squares around again, pulls it back again. It's 3-0. That one in the dirt.
If you're O'Neal, this is about the last thing you want to do when a run wins it, is not throw any strikes.
And put a runner in scoring position with the power hitting left-handed hitter Blake Avila standing on deck. Now the 3-0 to Steele. Squares again. And is going to pull it back and take a strike now, 3-1. Talked about it yesterday. Sometimes you put the wand down there in a bunt situation, it frightens the pitcher. It messes with their focus. Now the 3-1 again. This one is going to be bunted in fair territory. Back to the pitcher. O'Neal with it. His only play is at first. Gets it down there. It's out number 1. But Jacob Steele with the sac bunt moves up the runner into scoring position. Now 1 away for Blake Avila.
Picture-perfect sacrifice by Jacob Steele, and exactly what the first base dugout wants with Avila and Sinceri coming up.
Blake Avila, 1 home run on the season to this point. In his young career with the Miners, he has a runner in scoring position. 1 out, 2-2 your score here in the bottom of the ninth. Will O'Neal tries to shut the door. The pitch is going to miss high, 1-0.
Flags out in center, whip a little bit harder now as the wind picks up once more.
Wouldn't hurt that lefty power if he got one into the jet stream. The 1-0 is going to miss away now, 2-0 the count. Avila gets up, as the first 2 hitters in the inning did. A walk to Pano and a sac bunt has put him at second base. And now the 2-0 to Avila. Misses high, ball 3. Another fastball there. Has the base open at first. It would be Casey Sinceri on deck. Followed up by Nick Sorelli. The Miners trying to walk it off here in the ninth. A 3-0 count to Blake Avila. And that's called strike 1. Just hit that outside corner.
Tons of fun coming up at Herman Brothers Field. Military Appreciation Night tomorrow night. We'll hope you will join us at the ballpark or right back here on YouTube at 7 o'clock.
Hitters count for Blake Avila with the runner on second base. The 3-1. Ball 4 lays off the high fastball. And now runners on first and second for Casey Sinceri. Who's going to be the hero tonight? As Schwarwick will head out there to have a conversation with his pitcher, Will O'Neal.
There is some warming up going on down the left field line. Big right-hander down there. Haven't quite seen his number, but at the moment, this is Will O'Neal's game to win or lose.
Casey Sinceri.
Winning run on second base. Sinceri the batter with 1 out.
Big moment in this game. It is 2-2, bottom of the ninth. As you said, 1 away and 2 on. The first pitch to Sinceri. Fouls it away. It'll be 0-1. Looks like the Storms are going to hold off for now at least as we play out this 9th inning.
Looks like the Sun is going to hold on for now as well. If this one hits extra innings, we might get to play 1 or 2.
And now the 0-1 in the dirt. Blocked up nicely that time by Willie Schwarwick. It'll be 1-1 on Sinceri. One and 1 to count. From the stretch is Will O'Neill. The pitch is inside. It'll run at 2-1 now. The Miners already to 5-0 on this young season. Trying to make it 6-0 and get their first walk-off of the year. Casey Sinceri, the man at task. He now is up in the count 2-1 on the pitcher Will O'Neill. From the stretch, set for the pitch. Swing and a miss. Runner takes third as a steal attempt for second as well. This is a rundown. Payno might try to take home. He will now be in a rundown as the throwback to third is not in time. He slides in safely. Some chaos here in the 9th, but the Miners advance 2 bases and will now have 2 runners in scoring position. And the winning run just 90 feet away. Chaos.
Wow, how about that, Trey? One of the wildest double steals I've ever seen. As Sakino was hawking Josh Payno at the second base bag. And when O'Neill delivered to the plate, Payno just took off to third. Avila fouled late. He was caught in a rundown. Somehow both men safe at second and third.
Payno just kind of waited outside the third base bag as the infield will come in. Short going to give some signs first. Kind of waited about 5 feet outside the bag. Decided he would try to take it. Got caught in no man's land. Thankfully, he is back to third, and now we will have the bases loaded as Casey Sinceri is intentionally walked. And that'll bring up the veteran, Nick Sorelli, one of the big-time leaders on this team, a chance to deliver here in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, Trey, I'm going to disagree with Larry McCann on that decision to intentionally walk Casey Sinceri. There was already 2 strikes on him. Of course, you develop the force at every base, but wrong decision, in my opinion, with Sorelli coming up.
Corners are in. A sac fly would do it. Bases loaded. From the stretch, it's Will O'Neill, the first pitch to Sorelli. Called strike 1. A heartthrobber here at Herman Brothers Field. It has been a beauty of a game. Nick Sorelli trying to end it. The 0-1. That's called strike 2 on Sorelli. That outside corner. Oh, and 2 the count. O'Neill set for the pitch again. The delivery. Fouled off. Sorelli finds a piece and will stay in there. Bags full of Miners. Josh Payno on third base. Blake Avila. Down at second. Casey Sinceri over at first. Nick Sorelli at the plate. Down 0-2. Here's the pitch. Misses away. Ball number 1. Hat flies off for O'Neill. As he tries to get a big out here in the bottom of the 9th and keep his team alive in this game. Nick Sorelli, the power-hitting first baseman, the DH tonight. Trying to send the Oilers packing. As O'Neill will step off now. Take a look back to second. A force at any bag as the corners back up a bit. Now the 1-2. In the dirt away. It's going to be 2-2. Blocked up nicely there by Willie Schwarwick. That would have been the game, Howie, but instead, we'll see an even count to Sorelli. A walk in his first at bat. A hit and a flyout. Now the 2-2. Lays off. That'll run it full 3-2. The Miners a ball away from walking this game off, literally. But nonetheless, a hitter's count. Bases loaded. One out in the bottom of the ninth. Nick Sorelli trying to send us home. The 3-2 from Will O'Neill. Called strike 3. Outside corner. Sorelli, who has walked 15 times this season, tried to do so there to end the game. Instead, it'll turn over to Alex Vergara, who will try to be the hero tonight with 2 outs.
Yeah, Ryan Gill with some guts to call that strike 3 on Nick Sorelli, who has been the absolute best eye in the league. And he thought that was off the corner. Gill did not. Game continues. Bases loaded, 2 outs, as it looks like Will O'Neill just ran off McCann, as there is somebody ready down the left field line, but Will O'Neill says, Vergara's my man. I want him with the bases loaded.
Wow, how about that, Howie? Really just kind of pushing him away there. He came all the way to the mound. He said, no, I got to finish this off. It is the bottom of the ninth. I've gotten us this far. Let me face one more. And the Miners send Alex Vergara. Bases loaded now, 2 away. The first pitch is going to miss high, 1-0.
This game does reach the 10th. We'll have a runner on second base. MLB rules now.
And it looks like we will have enough sunlight this time if that's the case. The 1-0. Inside, 2-0 on Alex Vergara. Nods his head. 2 more balls would do it now. This team has found so many different ways to win this season. They have come back. They have dominated. Now trying to walk it off. The 2-0. Inside, 3-0. And the Oilers are facing potentially their final pitch of the game. A ball would mean a walk-off walk for the Miners tonight.
Vergara might as well lay the bat down behind him at this point. He will never swing at this pitch.
From the stretch, it's O'Neill with the bases loaded now. The 3-0 pitch. Inside, ball 4, and the Miners walk it off. Their first walk-off win of the season comes via ball number 4. Gatorade showers for Alex Vergara. And the Miners will improve to 6-0 on the 2022 season.
How about that one, Trey? A walk-off walk. Alex Vergara turns the trick. Didn't have to do much as he watches 4 right on by. The decision to leave Will O'Neill in ultimately costing the Oilers and Larry McCann.
An excellent game tonight as this one forced to go the distance. The Miners walk it off as Will O'Neill loses Alex Vergara. 4 balls and a base along with a run. The winning run. The Miners win it 3-2 tonight. Excellent pitching all the way around. The Bats not quite as active tonight, but this Miners team doing what it takes to get another win. They have now defeated each and every team in the league, and they have still not lost a game, Howie.
Yeah, incredible work by the Miners to this point. They are 6-0. We'll be right back here on YouTube tomorrow night for Military Appreciation Night against the Chugiak Chinooks. But before we get there, Trey, Kyle Watson, our friend, our third base coach, our defensive guy, will have a huge smile on his face. He'll sit right in between us. We'll talk baseball. We'll talk walk-offs. So stick around for that.
It is going to be a whole lot of fun to get Kyle Watson up here in just a moment. But before we do that, Howie, let's select our players of the game as the Miners walk it off this evening to pick up the win. Why don't you get us started?
I'll get us started, and I won't go with Alex Vergara with a walk-off walk. I'll go with a combination. I'll go the pitching. Michael Yates first. He was locating his fastball. He pitched very well. 5 innings, 1 hit. A little bit of bad luck defensively. 2 runs, 1 of them earned. Owen Lesh comes in, picks up the win, slams the door. 4 picture-perfect innings for the Matsu Miners as The only base runner he allowed via air, also allowed a double. Excellent work by Owen Lesh and Michael Yates on the mound.
No kidding, Howie. Dominant performance on the mound tonight. Great to see it for both of those young men as the Miners needed a strong pitching effort after all the runs we saw scored yesterday. They might have scored them themselves, but a dominant effort tonight. I think that is a worthy selection. Got to go with Alex Vergara. When you walk it off, especially with that kind of patience, you deserve to be named the player of the game as he delivers the Miners here in the bottom of the ninth. Overall, another great night of baseball. So many different highlights to talk about and to go through, and we will do that with Kyle Watson on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. As we return, we'll break it all down. The Miners get to 6-0 on the season. Another win, this one via the walk-off walk. Alex Vergara, the hero tonight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a bit. The Matsu Miners improved to 6-0 on this young 2022 season. They walk it off tonight via the walk as we are now joined by third base coach Kyle Watson. Coach, we've been waiting to talk to you post-game for a minute. We had this planned out in advance, but how about it? We get a walk-off to talk about now.
Big wins, you know what I mean? You'll take them however they come. It wasn't the cleanest game we've played all year, but, kudos to the pitching staff keeping us in it, you know what I mean? We put up 2 runs in the first and then kind of got blanked until the ninth, but the pitching staff came out and did their job, and man, kudos to those guys for keeping us in it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You said it, not the cleanest game in the world, a little bit more sloppy than we might be used to, but they found a way to stay in it. The bats weren't as active either. What did you tell them, or what did they kind of say to each other to stay in this game?
You know, on our whiteboard in there, we talk. I wrote down a little quote. Well, not really a quote, but this whole season and games in general, these are marathons. You know, they're not sprints. So, you know, no matter if we put up a 10 spot in the first, it doesn't matter. We got to go back out and play ball. So we made some errors early. You know, some ground balls got up in our kitchen a little bit, but you know those things happen, and good ball players have the ability to let mistakes go like that and move on and make plays after that.
6-0 for the Miners. How have they been able to do it to sustain success and be undefeated at this point? You know,
it's truly a team. You saw tonight, our pitching staff kept us in it. Yesterday we put up 17 runs and gave up only 5, I believe. So, you know, it truly is. This is a team game. You know, all sports are team sports, but this one right here, man, you got to rely on defense. You got to rely on your pitching. It all has to work together. And they could both have great days, and if you don't swing it, you might get beat 1-0. But it's a true team game, and these guys are showing that. And it's a great group to be around. They love each other already. We've only been here 2 weeks or so, and these guys are truly bonding and have each other's back, and it's just fun to watch.
Yeah, games began just a week ago tonight, which is insane to think about. Talk about how this group has bonded and grown just in that amount of time.
It is great, and I think you kind of, with this type of thing, summer ball, and people are coming from all over the nation, that could be kind of difficult. But the way that things are done, you know, they're having to live together, you know, at host families, and we do our practices and our our early work, but they're also going and doing things outside of practice, going, fishing or going playing golf. Go to the mountains, go look here, go do this. So they're doing things together, and there's nothing like being thrown together in the fire and jumping the season, and you learn real quick. You got to have each other's back, and these guys are, man, it's fun to be a part of for sure. I'm blessed to be here and get to watch it, front row seat.
Tonight's defensive play notwithstanding, you can't help but notice how hard you, the rest of the coaching staff, is out working just on the little things, the fundamentals of baseball, ground ball after ground ball after ground ball. Talk about what goes into that and how impressed you've been with the defense early on.
Man, I tell you what, tonight was an anomaly for sure. The first 5 games, we've been lights out on defense. So, we work real hard in our early work. We get we do a progression. We'll start on our knees and get some rolls at them with no glove, and just working through the process of getting your hands activated and your upper half activated, and leave your lower half out of it. And then we'll back up a little bit, hit some fungo at them, and then we'll get some work in beyond that. But with everybody comes from a different playing surface too. Last night we played on turf in the infield. Tonight we're playing on grass, and this grass up here in Alaska is extremely thick and slow. So some of the kicks we've had today I would attribute them to that grass. You got to get used to the speed of it or the lack thereof. It's a different kind of footwork with that kind of stuff. And we've learned too. JP and I were talking middle of the game. Any ground ball to the shortstop, you pretty much got to attack it. I mean, if it hits grass at all, you're going to have to come get it. So they're learning, and I'm learning, and everybody's learning, and it's just fun to watch the process go down in front of us.
It is. It's been elite on defense. We've seen the offense come along. The pitching tonight was incredible. But like you said, off the field, this group is bonding, getting to do a lot of the Alaskan things you hear about as well. We know that you had a golf round on Saturday. Won't ask you about the score there or anything.
I appreciate that very much.
We're right there
skip
with
over
you.
that part.
But, as we look to the future here, how does this group keep this rolling? They haven't lost anybody. They've looked perfect. How do you keep that sense of hunger?
I think the main thing is, and this was, my coach in college, Lee Driggers, always talked about, don't let your highs get too high and your lows get too low. The walk-off tonight, you see the ice bath and all that kind of stuff, and the hip, hip, hurrah and all that. Now it's time to leave that in the past. Spend the evening enjoying it, and it's time to move on tomorrow. And that's what we put on the board. You got to be 1-0 today. Tomorrow doesn't matter. Yesterday doesn't matter. You need to be 1-0 today. So we'll put that on there every time. That way they can look at it. And like I said earlier, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And we just need to go game by game. We can't get too ahead of ourselves and that kind of stuff.
Coach, thank you so much for your time
Yes,
tonight.
sir.
Excellent getting to speak with you. I know we'll have you on at some point.
I appreciate
again
that.
this
Yeah, I
season.
enjoy this stuff. You guys are doing a great job. It's a true team effort, and you two are involved in that team.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It has been a blast so far, and it has been a blast getting to watch this winning streak extend out to 6 games now. We'll join you tomorrow evening, the 14th, 7 p.m. The Chinooks coming to town for the second time this season as the Miners look to improve to 7-0 on the 2022 year. For Howie Boxley, my name is Trey Yanity. Fireworks here at Herman Brothers Field as the Matsu Miners walk it off. They win it 3-2. We'll join you tomorrow night. Drive safe, everybody. Have a good one.